watching him down there, he doesn't appear to be able to spin the ball quite as well as he could because some of his passes kind of had a little wobble to it.
Yep. And I noticed that in warm-ups as well when he was just, even just tossing the ball around rather than, even being in the 11-man set and running some quick plays like they do in warm-ups. Even just tossing the ball back and forth with Lennox in pregame was a little tricky from a wobbling standpoint. So all those things are coming into play here today, and it's coming in a big way. The NAIA Football Championship Series quarterfinal round. The winner will get to play to go to the national championship game. Next week will be the semifinal round. Before we get a break in here on our Drilling Pharmacy pregame report, let's take a look at the other matchups going on around the country in the NAIA Football Championship Series. Starting with the second seed, that is the Grandview Vikings. They are hosting 8-seeded Lindsey Wilson. It's a matchup of last year's semifinal contest that the Vikings won to head down to Durham, North Carolina. They won that in Kentucky, actually, over the Blue Raiders, who were the top seed in the playoffs last year. So we'll see if Coach Woodley's squad can get it done in Des Moines today. Up the road in Orange City, it's third seed Northwestern hosting the 7-seed Marion University of Indiana. Going to be an interesting contest there for the Red Raiders. Both teams kind of blew out their opponents last week. Marion did so in the second half. Northwestern did so over Dickinson State in the first half. We'll see how that one gets going. And this contest already underway. Indiana Wesleyan hosting Benedictine. It is the Wildcats of Indiana Wesleyan with a 7-6 lead over Benedictine midway through the second quarter. We'll be keeping you up to date on all of those contests throughout the day. Also, before we get to Coach Ryan, do want to make note, since there is still some time wherever you may be in Sioux City, if you have not gotten to the game yet, if you are coming to the game, no need to bring your wallet for admission anyway. They'll be hosting a canned food drive for the Food Bank of Siouxland. This is something they've been doing in the quarterfinal round for the last few seasons. Bring some non-perishable food. I think they're accepting toiletries as well, and that will get you into the contest. So, it's a great cause. The Food Bank of Siouxland does some great work here in Sioux City and surrounding areas. So bring a donation and come on out and cheer on the Mustangs because, of course, students are off this week. They're home, and so we need some noise and we need some loud and proud Mustang fans. So again, make sure you grab a non-perishable food item, some toiletries, and come on out to the game and make that donation to the Food Bank of Siouxland. Let's get a break in. When we come back, Steve Ryan, Hall of Fame head football coach at Morningside University, will join us on our Drilling Pharmacy pregame report, breaking down the action as top seed Morningside gets set to host 12th-ranked Keiser out of Florida in the NAIA Football Championship Series quarterfinal round. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more of our pregame coverage here on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS Sioux City. We welcome you back to our Drilling Pharmacy pregame report here on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS. I'm Daniel Verstegen. I'm pleased, as always, to be joined by the head football coach at Morningside University, Coach Steve Ryan. His team coming off a round of 16 victory last week against Arizona Christian by a final of 35-18 to maintain an 11-0 record and earn a berth in today's NAIA Football Championship Series quarterfinal round. The Mustangs getting set to take on Keiser. But before we, dive into football, Coach, you guys are in a very unique spot in the college football world where you get to, practice on Thanksgiving and celebrate a holiday with your players like that. What do you guys do to kind of, keep the mood light, maybe take their mind off football for a little bit and, allow them to celebrate the holiday?
We gave them we gave them Thanksgiving off and sent them home. So they had Thanksgiving to just get home and see their family and be around them. And it's just a great opportunity for the guys to be around each other, hang out together, and kind of enjoy, the end of the season together.
And it's it really is a long grind kind of season, especially at this point in the year. How valuable is getting that day off their feet with their family to just maybe reset their mind a little bit from football?
Yeah, I think there's some real value to that. I mean, it's a great holiday, just to think about all that we have to be thankful for, and what God's given us, and the opportunities they have, and just to be around their family.
Absolutely, it's a great holiday. It's an awesome opportunity you get to spend with them. And now we can talk about the football that they're getting back to today. First of all, just touching briefly off last week, your defense. I mean, if I could have given defensive player of the game to all 11 of them, I would have loved to. But what can you say about what they've been able to do for you, coming through in big scenarios at such a crucial point in the season?
Well, I think they're playing really well together, and I think their fits were good, and they just have gone through the process of getting better each and every week, and playing together, and how they play together and how they fit together, and they've done a great job with that.
And a guy like Weston Schultz, he was in the backfield, seemed like every play. I mean, his adjustment to being a transfer, being a linebacker, then being a defensive lineman, and now here in his last season of college football. I mean, what's gone into that transformation, and how has he put the work in to become such a dominant defensive end?
Well, I mean, one, Weston's just a high character person. When you have a high character person, they work hard to become great at what they do. And you add to that, he is an outstanding physical athlete. It's probably his right position, just playing DN. He just does a great job of it.
And the last thing, kind of touching a little bit on last week is man, it seems like if there's one injury on your team, there's another 10 to go along with it, Coach. Another couple of guys are out. It's a mentality you've had to have all season, but it's really been tested. The next man up mentality. Lennox Brown starting at quarterback for you guys today, and KJ Williams at running back now. How have they responded to this opportunity to be able to lead you guys in a really competitive ball game?
Well, I think they've done a great job of preparing themselves and getting ready to go. And the reality is it's a whole new situation for them. So we'll see how prepared they are for it.
Absolutely. This matchup is the Keiser Seahawks. We're chatting with Steve Ryan right before kickoff here on our Drilling Pharmacy pregame report. This Seahawk team is 8-3. They were the only team to win on the road last week. Coach, as well as anybody, winning on the road in the NAIA Football Championship Series is a really tough test. What does that say about this Keiser team, and how does that maybe up your respect for a team that traveled all the way up to Tennessee and was able to get the job done?
Yeah, so I have a high level of respect for this team, and they've traveled all year. They've traveled a lot of games. The travel's not going to affect them. I assume it didn't affect them when they went to Bethel. I think, it's a team that's got the talent to win a national championship. So they're a high-level football team, and the reality is, I thought Bethel was a team that could have won the national championship. I thought they were highly talented. They were undefeated. Keiser only has 3 losses, and it's to traditional Division II power Valdosta State, Mississippi College, which is also a team that made the Division II playoffs, and Lindenwood, a 1AA team. So it's the 3 early in the year play-up games that they had. I mean, those are their only losses. So it's an outstanding football team.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, while they lost those 3 games, they still scheduled them. I mean, what does that tell you about a team that wants to play those kind of upper tier programs and wants to get a challenge like that?
Yeah, I think that's a part of it. I mean, part of it is just the challenge of finding games sometimes non-conference, and these were games they could play. I think what it says is they're not afraid of playing those games. They probably don't fear any team that they're going to play.
Absolutely. Well, it's let's talk about this team a little bit, Coach. Offensively, I think I know probably what you're going to say a little bit. Lots of run. What is that run game predicated on? How do they use that to the best of their ability?
Well, I mean, they've got a couple outstanding running backs, and they just do a great job of basically just a very standard run game of putting the ball in their hands and handing the ball off to them.
It's a lot of RPO look as well. How does that change what you have to game plan for defensively against them?
Well, I mean, you just got guys in the edge that just can't run into the box immediately. They just have got to be aware of of the quarterback just rising up and throwing the football.
How about the when it is just kind of a traditional running look, running attack, and yeah, they use the RPO with it as well. Is it more of a match physicality, like you just kind of have to outmuscle the guy, or are there some things that you can do outside of that to kind of help your chances too?
Well, I mean, guys have to, obviously they're a physical team and they got a physical style running attack up front. Guys have to stay in their gaps. They have to be responsible with their gaps. And, typically what a team like that's trying to do is get somebody misplaced, and the back's got to find that crease, and he can find that crease, he can make big runs.
How about when they throw the ball, Coach? I notice they've got a tight end that has had a lot of catches. He's got a lot of looks. What do they do once they obviously fake the handoff and decide to throw?
Well, they do quite a bit of play action. Their best receivers, their tight end, and that doesn't take anything away from the receivers. They got an outstanding crew of receivers, but Jalen Arnold is the best tight end in the country at this level, and he's just a physical presence. He's fast. He runs good routes, and I mean that's going to be a big challenge for our guys. It's been a while since we've seen a tight end of that ability.
Yeah, what's the biggest challenge there? Is it trying to get a guy that can match up with him in the open field as far as pass coverage, or is the bigger challenge trying to bring down a 250-pound tight end in the open field?
It's covering. I mean, you got to be able to cover him before he catches the ball, and make that's always the best way, is just keep the ball at his hands. But then, yeah, once he catches it, you got to tackle him.
We're talking with Steve Ryan, head football coach, Morningside University. That's a bit about this outstanding Keiser offense. How about this defense, Coach? What kind of things just pop out as a strength of that defensive unit?
Well, they're big and physical up front, and I think their front seven is going to be the best front seven we've seen so far this year. Just some real physical guys up front. When
you say front seven, I mean, are we going to see a decent amount of linebacker blitzes as well? Are they going to bring those guys into the box and try and crowd things up there?
Yeah, they mix up pressure with just playing their basic, defense, and they do a great job with pressure. I mean, the combination of size and speed, when they pressure the quarterback, it's some of the best stuff they do.
Obviously, we talked about Ryan already being out today. The running game, how important is that going to be, and what do you need to do to be able to establish that early and often?
Well, I mean, we need to be able to run the ball. We need to be able to run the ball effectively. We need to be able to move the chains by running the football, and it's going to be important for KJ to just kind of step up in that situation.
And a lot of people were saying, oh, yeah, well, you guys had to bring in a wide receiver to play quarterback last week. But obviously, most people don't know that he played quarterback in high school, too, and he was a pretty good quarterback at AL. So has there been some work on this week, getting getting the rust knocked off his arm, and so that he can throw a little bit more for you guys if need be today?
Yeah, I mean, we've done everything we can, just in terms of, getting him up to speed with, some of the reads and some of the things we do in the passing game.
Last thing for you. If Morningside comes away with a win, and we hope they do, obviously, What's it going to be because of? What do you have to do to guarantee yourselves the best chance for a victory today?
Well, number one, we need to probably make a play on special teams and keep them from making plays on special teams. Outstanding special teams unit and kick return game and punt return game, and we need to make sure those guys don't get free, and then we need to win the game in turnovers.
Absolutely. We have big keys to success. Coach, we hope they happen. We appreciate your time as always, and best of luck today.
All right, thanks.
Absolutely. That was Steve Ryan, head football coach, Morningside University, on our Drilling Pharmacy pregame report. As we're just moments away from kickoff now, the Mustangs getting set to take on Keiser in the NAIA Football Championship Series quarterfinal round. When we come back on our pregame coverage, we will kick it off from Elwood Olson Stadium. That's coming up next here on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium here in Sioux City. It's our Drilling Pharmacy pregame report on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS Sioux City, the iHeartRadio app, and on 620KMNS.com. Alongside Bob Goodvin, I'm Daniel Versteg. Coin toss taking place at midfield. The Seahawks, Keiser University, won the coin toss. They elected to defer their choice. We'll see the Mustang offense on the field first, led by the sophomore fourth-string quarterback in Lennox Brown. But we'll get to see what this Keiser special teams unit has. Of course, Coach Ryan mentioned that in the pregame. This special teams unit, he was mainly talking about returns, but I think the entire special team unit here for Keiser is outstanding. And watching good special teams go at it is going to be very fun. And we'll see how that impacts the contest. It's the NAIA Football Championship Series quarterfinal round. These are two of the best 8 teams in NAIA football. We're glad you're along. Kickoff from Chance Gagnon going right to left, and Keiser's teed it off. High left-footed end-over-end boot, and that one's taken to the 10-yard line by Michael Payne. Out to the left, numbers to the 20, 25, sidestep a block at the 30, 35, 40. Across midfield into Keiser territory he goes. Out of bounds across midfield up the left sideline. He's out of bounds just short of about the 40-yard line, and Morningside's going to get some great field position in Keiser territory to start the ball game.
Position on the other team's 47-yard line.
47-yard line, and here comes Joe Dolenchek out to start at quarterback. So we will see Joe start the game at the quarterback position. Lennox Brown was scheduled to start. Coach Ryan told me he was going to. But Joe Dolenchek has warmed up well, and he will start at quarterback on 1st and 10 at the Keiser 47. Here's a handoff up the middle of the backup, K.J. Williams. He tries to bounce off around the right side and picks up a yard of the 46. That'll set up 2nd down and 9.
You know, Dolenchek starting really doesn't surprise me because he's out there warming up, and if he can do that, why not start him? I mean, that's
absolutely. So in between the hashes, 2nd down and 9. As the Mustangs line up 3 receivers left, 1 right. Dolenchek play action, throws toward the right. Numbers caught by Michael Payne up the sideline, 35. He's pushed out of bounds in Keiser territory at the 31-yard line. A pickup of 15 for Michael Payne. It's a 1st down for the Mustangs.
Well, it's a good throw and catch on behalf of Morningside, but it's a really bad play by the Keiser corner. If he just makes the tackle, it's 3rd and 4. And I mean, if you go for the ball, you got to get the ball.
Now an empty look here for Joe. 3 receivers left, 1 right, tight end right side of the formation. And now we've got a miscue as movement on the line. The snap count not on time, and a penalty will back the Mustangs up 5 yards. And got that one moving too early. Back him up to the 36, sets up 1st and 15. Saw Joe pretty frustrated, and of course, him coming back after a month, it might be just a little off timing-wise. You've had now 3 different quarterbacks take snaps in his place, and well, you got to get used to Joe again. 2 receivers right, 1 left. 1st and 10 of the 36. The motion, Zach Norton right to left to put 2 receivers left side. Dalenchek, a 5-step drop out of the gun, steps up, takes a shot over the middle. That's a wobbler. Austin Johnson comes back to the football and makes a great diving catch at the 7-yard line. He bailed out Joe on that pass. It's 29 yards. It's 1st and goal.
Yeah, right there you saw his finger come into play. I mean, he couldn't throw the ball with the velocity he wanted, but great job by Austin Johnson coming back for the football.
And here we go, 1st and goal. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Dalenchek, play action, throws over the middle and throws wide to Michael Payne. It's incomplete. 2nd and goal upcoming. Joe Dalenchek with 1 touchdown pass. He will become college football's all-time leading touchdown passer. NAIA, Morningside, NCAA Division I, II, III. Nobody will have thrown more touchdown passes than Joe Dalenchek in a college football career, with 1 more if he can get that on this drive. 2nd and goal from inside the 7-yard line at the 6. 13:39 in the first quarter. We're scoreless on our People's Bank scoreboard. Morningside and Keiser. Here's Dalenchek in the gun. 2 tight ends left side, receiver on either side. KJ Williams off the left tip of Dalenchek. Play clock's down to 3. Dalenchek turns, fakes the give, throws toward the right pylon. Zach Norton made the catch at the 1 and got pushed out of bounds short of the goal line. That'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 1. And the Mustangs want to hurry things up. They're going to line up out of the pistol. 3 tight end look, 2 left, 1 right. Dalenchek lines up 4 yards deep, takes the snap, turns, it gives to KJ Williams, punches his way into the end zone for a Mustang touchdown. KJ Williams from a yard out caps off a scoring drive of 47 yards, and the Mustangs lead 6-0 on our People's Bank scoreboard.
Well, what you saw in the first drive right there is a difference between Dalenchek and anybody else playing quarterback. I mean, they threw the ball 5-6 times in the series and threw the ball very well 5 or 6 times. So that's the big difference right now.
And even with a busted finger, he's still efficient. Now the point after try here for Chase Carter off of the hold of Justin McElligott. It's the snap spot, right-footed end-over-end kick through the uprights and good. So Morningside is struck first, 13:26 in the first quarter. Mustangs up 7-0 on Keiser on the People's Bank scoreboard. Don't get too comfortable. Seahawks will get the football when we come back here on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. And we welcome you back here to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City alongside Bob Goodvin, Daniel Versteg. Morningside starts off the contest with a 6-play, 47-yard drive. Joe Dalenchek, his first drive as quarterback since he injured himself a month ago against Dakota Wesleyan. And the Mustangs lead 7-0 on our People's Bank scoreboard as Ben Steffens sends a high right-footed pooch kick toward the left sidelines. It goes out of bounds on the 35-yard line. It's going to be some terrible field position defensively for the Mustangs. Keiser's going to get some great field position off of this. I think that one just shanked.
Yeah, he kind of hooked it.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like a duck hook in golf.
Yeah, and well, the duck hook's not very good in golf. It's not good in football kicking either. So they'll add 5 extra yards from where it went out of bounds at the 37. And that'll set them up at the 42-yard line. And Keiser will have 1st and 10 as they start their drive with their sophomore quarterback, Shea Spencer, who's the all-time single-season passing yards leader in Keiser history. This program's been around since 2018, and they have made the playoffs 4 of their 5 years as a program. Here's Spencer, receiver on either side, turns, gives up the middle, and there's Marquise Burgess showing his athleticism across the 45 to the 49-yard line. He's got 7 yards. It'll be 2nd and 3.
You know, Keiser starts in 11 personnel, meaning 2 tight ends and 1 back, but their All-American tight end is lined up as right now he's in the slot to the short side of the field.
Yeah, it's interesting. You kind of maybe want him as a big blocker up there. There's a handoff up the middle. It's the backup running back, Jaden Meisinger. And Meisinger gets brought down for a loss of the 48. That's going to set up 3rd down and 4. Keiser still in their territory. Seahawks down 7-0 to start the ball game. This Keiser team averaging 31.5 points a ball game, over 400 yards of offense a contest. Mustang fans showing their support. It'll be 3rd down and 4 from the 48 for the Seahawks. 2 receivers either side. Pistol look for Shea Spencer. The emotions Burgess out of the backfield to the left side. We've got a whistle, a flag, blows the play dead. And a false start going on the Seahawks. That's going to back them up 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 9 upcoming. That's a penalty you can't have against the Mustangs.
Yeah, I think that was all the center's responsibility there. I don't think he snapped it on the right cadence, or didn't snap it on the right cadence, and everybody else moved.
12:23 left in the first quarter. 7-0 Mustangs on the People's Bank scoreboard. 3rd and 9 from the 43. Spencer motions it back out of the backfield, drops to throw. Mustangs rush for. Pass over the middle is caught, and breaking a tackle over the middle, and getting a 1st down across the 45 to the 40. Still on his feet to the 38. I believe it's Michael Robinson on the catch. And no, it's Seth Roll, I beg your pardon. Roll makes the catch. He's into the Mustang 39 with a 1st down.
Yeah, Roll lined up in the slot to the far side of the field from us and just ran a simple little slant route, and they hit him right behind the Mike linebacker, Josh Miller.
Breaking that tackle really helped them as well. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. They motion the tight end Jalen Arnold, left side of the formation. Out of the pistol, play action. Spencer bootlegging, trying to throw a screen back left side of the Mustang. Pressure was all in the traffic of that screen pass, forcing him to spike it in front of Seth Roll. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Keiser tried to run a tunnel screen right there, and I think if the quarterback would have held the ball for just a split second longer, he could have come open, and I'm not so sure it would have been a big gain, but he might have been able to hit him.
Instead, it's no gain, 2nd and 10. Receiver on either side, tight end either side of the pistol look of Shea Spencer. Low knee-high snap, gives it to Meisinger around the left side, and Jaden Meisinger gets brought down for nothing. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It'll be 3rd and 10 at the Mustang 39.
Well, Keiser's still in that 11 personnel look, meaning 2 tight ends, and that time they lined up in traditional tight end positions and tried to run the inside zone or mid-zone play, and Morningside just outnumbered them at the point of attack.
They like those power looks, and we'll probably see a lot of that here today. 3rd down and 10 from the 39 of Morningside. 2 receivers either side of the formation, no tight ends. Out of the gun is Shea Spencer. He takes the chest-high snap, fakes the give, play action, rolling right. Now he tucks and runs across the 35-30, still on his feet across the 25. And Shea Spencer bails out the Seahawks with a 16-yard carry for a Seahawk 1st down. The athleticism shown by Shea Spencer, something they'll need throughout the ball game. 1st and 10 for Keiser. They get another big 3rd down conversion. At the Mustang 23, 3 receivers left, none right. They take the snap and a sweeper on the right side. Jaden Meisinger hit by Weston Schultz. He'll go down with the help of Dijon Walls as well. Back at the 27-yard line, it's a loss of 4 to bring up 2nd and 14.
Well, early on, right now, Keiser's having a hard time blocking the defensive ends for Morningside. And that time it was Weston Schultz, and a couple plays ago it was Von Sagern who made plays. And, I don't care how big you are. If you can't move, you're going to have a hard time blocking a smaller, athletic guy. And so far, they're having a hard time blocking their defensive ends.
Yeah, it's really impressive what Weston Schultz and Cooper Von Sagern, both outside linebackers for a long time, have been able to do now at the defensive end position. 2nd and 14 from the 27. The belt high snap and a short drop. Spencer passes over the middle. It got deflected away by Drew Bessie. They were looking for Seth Roll over the middle. Bessie had jumped the route, got both hands on the football, but couldn't bring it in. And that'll bring up 3rd and 14. That was very close to the first turnover of the contest. Now the Seahawks have a chance to get themselves out of another 3rd down and long hole. They've been with 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, but their longest now 3rd and 14. From the Mustang 27, it's Spencer. Some movement, a free play for the Seahawks as Spencer lobs it up to the end zone, left sideline, back to the football. Henderson couldn't get it. John Andreessen swatted it away, but that will all be a moot point as the Seahawks will get 5 yards, and they'll get to try it again with 3rd and 9.
Boy, That's really good coverage by Morningside right there because, like you said, they had a free play. And anytime you have a free play, you want to take a shot deep. And Andreessen just had great coverage right there.
So, 3rd and 9. Now back to the 22-yard line. With 9:46 left of the first quarter, Mustangs up 7-0 on our People's Bank scoreboard. Morningside ranked number 1 in the country, the favorite to repeat as the national champion. Keiser trying to dethrone them, the only team to win on the road last week, upending previously unbeaten Bethel. 3rd and 9, a belt high snap and a 3-step drop for Spencer. Stands in the pocket, lobs it up back of the end zone, overthrew the nation's top tight end in Jalen Arnold. It's incomplete. 4th and 9. And the Seahawks will bring out the field goal unit, and they will try and boot through 3 with Chance Gagnon.
Not very often in coverage do you see a defense put their best corner on a tight end, and that's exactly what they did right there with Walls on the tight end for Keiser, and he had great coverage.
So the Mustangs stand tall. Keiser will settle to try for a 39-yard field goal. Gagnon is 16 of 20 on field goal tries this season. This will be off the right hash, off of the hold of Matthew DeSisto. The left-footed boot by Gagnon sails inside the right upright and is good. And our score with 9:34 left of the first quarter. Top-ranked Morningside 7. 12th-ranked Keiser settles for 3. Take a break. When we come back in 30 seconds, Mustangs will get the football off of the kickoff. We're back in 30 here on Fox Sports Radio 620, KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City, broadcasting to you live from the Irving and Carolyn Jensen press box. Alongside East High offensive coordinator Bob Goodvin, I'm Daniel Versteg. 9:34 left of the first quarter. Top-ranked Morningside leads 12th-ranked Keiser out of Florida, 7-3 on the People's Bank scoreboard. The Seahawk drive goes 9 plays, 36 yards, takes off nearly 4 minutes off the clock, and is finished with a 39-yard field goal from Chance Gagnon. And now Gagnon will send his left-footed boot into a kickoff. That's fielded at the 7-yard line by Michael Payne. Up to the left numbers, 15-20. Sidesteps a block, 25-30. Gets some great holes across the 40, across midfield into Keiser territory. And he's run out of bounds by Gagnon at the Keiser University 40-yard line. Well, he got to the 47, his last kick return. He gets to the 40 this time, and Morningside gets great field position for their second drive of the game.
If I was Keiser, I think I'd stop kicking the ball to Michael Payne. I mean, that's 2 returns of over 50 yards. Part of the problem is he's only kicking the ball to about the 6 or 7 yard line each time, and that's just right into the hands of your return team.
So Joe Dolenchek is back out there, 1st and 10 from the Seahawk 40-yard line. Receivers on either side. Zach Norton motions left to right in the formation. He turns and throws the screen to Norton, but it didn't quite get to him. It's incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, there again you see kind of the effects of his finger because he had a hard time. They brought a guy in motion and just going to throw the bubble screen to him, and he just had a hard time gripping the ball. And it's a tough play anyway because you got to throw it so fast. But
here's 2nd and 10 from the Seahawk 40-yard line. They'll hand off around the right side, and KJ Williams gets upended across the 37 of the 36. A modest gain of 4 yards will set up 3rd and 6. Morningside trying to run the football now, and of course, Joe has been able to throw solidly on the first drive, but again, his finger's showing some signs every now and then. It's rearing its ugly head every now and then. 3rd and 6 for the Mustangs at the Seahawk 36-yard line. 2 receivers either side. They'll motion Tuifua out of the receiver spot, put him as a tight end on the left side. Dolenchek, a helmet high snap and a 3-step drop, throws to the right sideline, leaping catch by Austin Johnson. He gets the foot inbounds at the 26-yard line, steps out of the 25. That's 11 yards and a 1st down for the Mustangs.
Well, Keiser's they're living in the quarters coverage world right now, and that's because of Dolenchek playing quarterback. They cannot walk the safety down in the box, and they're trying to get the next best world, and that's quarters coverage. If you see right now, number 24 is all but linebacker depth.
Here's Dolenchek dropping a throw on 1st and 10. He takes a shot toward the right sideline. Norton behind his defender, but great coverage on the front end made by the defender Tivon Sutton, the linebacker. Take it away from Norton. It's 2nd and 10.
Well, Norton had him beat. They ran a little wheeler out with him, and he had him beat down the sideline. And Dolenchek just couldn't give him the ball. He underthrew him a little bit, which brought the corner back into play.
So 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs. They'll empty the backfield. 3 receivers left, 2 receivers right. From the Seahawk 25-yard line, Dolenchek's all alone in the backfield. Keiser showing a blitz of 6 guys. Now they back it off after 2 full motions. They just rushed 3. Dolenchek passes over the middle. It's caught by Norton to the 2, and he gets by the defender into the end zone for a Mustang touchdown. Joe Dolenchek has his 166th career touchdown reception. That is the most by any quarterback to ever play the sport of college football, and it puts Morningside up 13-3 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Joe wanted that football. He got it from the official, and he is holding it on down the sideline as he makes his way to the bench.
Well, Keiser walked Brian Edwards, the safety, number 24, up in the box, and then pre-snap they rolled him out. But by doing that, he has his back to the receivers, and he had no idea where the receivers were, and they just hit him right on the goal line.
Point after try by Chase Carter adds on the cherry on top of the try. 14-3 Morningside, 8:16 left to go in the first quarter on our People's Bank scoreboard. We'll be back in 30 seconds. More Mustang football coming your way after this on Fox Sports Radio 620, KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back here to Elwood Olson Stadium on the campus of Morningside University. Alongside Bob Goodvin, Daniel Versteg with you. 8:16 left of the first quarter. Top-ranked Morningside leads 12th-ranked Keiser, 14-3 on the People's Bank scoreboard. And Joe Dolenchek has become college football's all-time career passing touchdown leader, finding Zach Norton for the score and putting Morningside up by 11. As Ben Steffens will tee this one up, right-footed boot toward the left numbers. It is fielded at the 22-yard line by an upback with the fair catch. And Keiser will take it at their own 25-yard line.
Well, what Morningside's doing is not kicking the ball to number 1.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're not kidding by All-American. He was second-team All-American last year. As a return or first team all conference and yeah, I think he got some looks as All-American as a returner last year, but you're right, 33 yards per return. And Coach Ryan talked about it. The Mustangs have to make plays on special teams. They've done that. Great kick returns, and now that kickoff forcing them to start at the 25-yard line. Here's Keiser with a football, play action run around the right side off the fake handoff. 3-yard carry for Marquise Burgess to the 28. And that'll set up 2nd down and 7.
Well, anytime you could stay ahead of the chains on first down, whether it's a short pass or a short run, you're ahead of the curve because 2nd and 7 is a lot better than the 2nd.
From the 28-yard line, it is that 2nd and 7. Here's Spencer in the pistol. 2 receivers left. Tight end right following a motion. Takes a snap. Hands off, right side, Meisinger doesn't get to the corner. Gage Hakey brought him down. Back at the 25-yard line, he'll lose 3, and that sets up 3rd down and 10 for the Seahawks. Can't start a defensive look any better than that.
That's not out of the norm. I mean, most defensive lines are more athletic, but I mean, their athleticism is starting to really show.
3rd down and 10 for the Seahawks from their own 25-yard line. Out of the pistol is Spencer. Play action, drops to throw. Schultz chasing him, couldn't get him. Dumps it off into the flats. Catch made by Meisinger, but he's lucky to get a yard up to the 26-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 9. The Seahawks go 3 and out, and they'll be forced to punt it away.
Well, he didn't make the tackle, but Pingle, the outside linebacker, made the play. I mean, he came up and he forced the running back inside to the pursuit coming. And that play, even though he didn't make the tackle, that play was made by Pingle.
He makes a ton of plays, whether they go in the stat sheet or not. Caleb Schwagert is back on the field. He's standing at his own 39-yard line, ready to return this punt from Chance Gagnon. It's a helmet-high snap. He just barely gets the kick away from Josh Miller. It rolls up the left sideline across the 45 to the 40 of Morningside, and it settles out of bounds at the Mustang 37-yard line. So Morningside will start this drive in their own territory for the first time today. 6:16 to go in the first quarter. Top-ranked Morningside leads 12th-ranked Keiser 14-3 here on the People's Bank scoreboard as the Mustangs try and advance to the semifinals once again. We'll see who their opponent will be. Right now, 3 of the 4 games are led by the home team. Lindsey Wilson has just taken a 7-0 lead on Grandview. First and 10 at the 37-yard line. Josh Simmons motions into the backfield. Dalenchek gives around the right side. KJ Williams up the numbers. He tries to get positive yards but can't do it. Seahawks bring him down for no gain. Brings up 2nd and 10.
I think this is one of those times in the game where this drive's a lot more important than most drives in the first quarter are, because if you let Morningside go down and take a 21-3 lead, I mean, that might be a hill pretty big to climb.
Right. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 37. Dalenchek in the gun. Play action. Screen pass left side. Caught by Sievert up the left. Numbers 40, 45. Follows his blocks immaculately. And he gets out of bounds at midfield for a pickup of 13 and a first down for the Mustangs.
Well, the guy who made that play was Zach Norton. He's the receiver blocking on the edge. And, you know, I've said this many times. As many screens as they run to wide receivers, the other wide receivers do such a good job of blocking.
1st and 10 at midfield. Here's Dalenchek in the gun. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. And some movement. We got a free play here as Dalenchek drops to throw. Pass over the middle. He takes a shot. Lobs it up left seam. It's short of Josh Simmons. Incomplete. That's going to bring it 1st and 5 following the offside penalty.
Yeah, that's almost a play that you shouldn't be given a free play.
And that's, I think, what Joe might be saying to the headlines judge. He said something to them right away, but they'll give him an offside penalty. It was Wendell Fallord who came off the edge and on a safety blitz and ended up hitting Joe because, the rule then, Bob, is he's unabated to the quarterback.
Unabated, right.
Yeah. So 1st and 5. They did let the free play continue, but it's now 1st and 5 following the offside penalty at the Seahawk 45-yard line. 2 receivers either side. Sione Tuifua motions to the right side as a receiver. Dalenchek drops to throw. Passes over the middle. It's caught by Johnson, 35. In between the hashes to the 25-yard line. And he's run down to the 22-yard line. 23 yards for Johnson and a first down. And Johnson comes up with a limp. Austin Johnson hobbles off the field under his own power. Caleb Schwagert is taken over for the 6th-year senior. 1st and 10 here for Morningside. We'll keep an eye on Johnson throughout the game. Dalenchek out of the pistol. Throws short of Caleb Schwagert at the 17-yard line. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10.
You know, this is an entirely different offense with Dalenchek under center. And when I say under center, I realize he's in the shotgun. But at the same time, he's not throwing the ball as well as he has all year. You can see that. But they're still a different football team.
Absolutely. I mean, 80%, whatever he is, Joe Dalenchek better than most quarterbacks are at 100%. 2nd and 10 from the Seahawk 22. 2 receivers left. A couple of tight ends right, and they throw a screen out left side. It's Schwagert making the catch at the 20. Sidesteps the defender, 15. He's wrestled down in the red zone at the 12-yard line. He got exactly what he needed, maybe 1 yard more to the 11. It's a first down for the Mustangs.
So Austin Johnson gets hurt, and Austin Johnson's a heck of a football player, but here comes number 2, Caleb Schwagert. And I've said all along, I love Schwagert. He just plays the game with the right attitude.
Gosh, we just haven't been able to see him all year because he's been dealing with a nagging foot injury. They just haven't been able to figure out what the deal is, but thankfully he's on the field today. 1st and 10 from the 11. Out of the pistol, it's KJ Williams bouncing off a tackle right side, getting across the 10 to the 8-yard line. A pickup of 3 will set up 2nd and 7.
That time Morningside came out in their own 12 personnel look, and even though 33 is technically a J-back, but they lined him up at tight end there, and they had a 2 tight end look and ran the ball and ran it for 4 yards. So
4:10 to go in the first quarter. Morningside up on Keiser 14-3 here on the People's Bank scoreboard. Mustangs line up with 2nd down and 7 from the Keiser 8-yard line. Two receivers close left, one wide right. Dalenchek drops to throw, checks down to KJ Williams, left sideline to the 5. He gets wrestled across the pylon into the end zone for a Mustang touchdown. KJ Williams, he's scored 5 rushing touchdowns this year, but this is his first through the air. And Morningside goes on top 20-3 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
Well, that's another example. It's not a real pretty looking pass. I mean, he can't spin the ball like he normally can, but it's still getting there. And, the Morningside guys do such a good job of catching the football.
Yep, even the running backs. And a backup running back at that in KJ Williams. Chase Carter out for the point after try. Right-footed boot. It sails through the uprights and is good. With 3:53 left in the first quarter, top-ranked Morningside up on 12th-ranked Keiser, 21-3 here on the People's Bank scoreboard. We'll take a 30-second break. We'll come back with more Mustang football after this on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back here to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City, campus of Morningside University. Alongside Bob Goodman, I'm Daniel Versteg. Top-ranked Morningside is back to its old ways, leading 12th-ranked Keiser 21-3 here on the People's Bank scoreboard. 3 minutes and 53 seconds left of the first quarter. Joe Dalenchek coming back with a vengeance. He leads the third drive of the contest, 7 plays, 63 yards. Took 2.5 minutes roughly off the clock, and he's got his second touchdown pass of the contest. 167 on his career, most by any college football quarterback in the history of the game. Ben Steffens with a short pooch kick, fielded at the 23-yard line by Meisinger. He takes it up the middle of the field to the 30, left seam to the 35, tackled forward to the 36-yard line. Keiser will start just outside the 35, and Bob, I think we are seeing on kickoffs, Morningside absolutely refuses to kick the ball to number 1 today.
Absolutely. I mean, I noticed that too. And they kick from the hash, and they got floored on the wide side of the field. And when you kick from the hash, you're not going to kick the ball to the wide side of the field.
Nope.
So I wonder if Keiser will make a little bit of an adjustment and put him into the boundary and see if they can get him the ball that way.
Right, yeah, because Floored's a guy that Keiser needs to be able to make plays on special teams. And he just hasn't been able to do that yet. Shea Spencer out of the pistol. 2 receivers right, 1 left, tight end left. As Spencer play action, bootlegs right. He throws over the middle. It's caught by Arnold, their tight end. And he gets brought down by Lonell Boyd to the 45-yard line. A pickup of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1.
That's actually a really good play
Yes.
by Boyd. I mean, that's a big tight end just running a drag route on the bootleg, and your vintage drag route off a boot look. And the safety's going to jump the backside number 2 on that, and that's exactly what he did. It's just he's not as big. That's all.
Who do you got? 5'10", $195 Lonell Boyd, or 6'4", 250 Jalen Arnold? I guess you get Boyd on that. Play action bootleg. Spencer looks to throw, takes a shot deep over the seam. Dijon Walls there in coverage, and he bats it away from Miles Henderson inside the 20. It's incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Keiser.
I love the play call. Don't get me wrong. It's 2nd and 1. It's a perfect time for some play action. Take a shot deep. I just wouldn't take a shot with Walls.
No.
On Walls. I would try to make my money somewhere else.
Dijon Walls is not going to give you any room. 2 interceptions last week against Arizona Christian. 3rd and 1 from the 45-yard line. Morningside brings the house. Handoff up the middle, and Meisinger didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. He loses a yard to the 44. It'll be 4th and 2 for the Seahawks.
You might want to think about this right here. And I'm not so sure punting the ball to Morningside is a good idea right now.
Nope. 2:48 left in the first quarter. Already down 21-3 on the People's Bank scoreboard, and the Seahawks, they're keeping the offense out there. So they're in line with your thought here, Bob. 4th and 2 at the 44. Oh boy, this would be such a big call if they don't get it, though.
Now we'll see if they snap the ball and see if they just don't try to no-go it and make them jump off sides.
Play clock's down to 6. There's some movement. What is the movement? Everybody moved at the same time. And who are they going to blow this on?
It's on Keiser, and I'll tell you what the movement is. Here comes the punt team. It's going to be 3rd and 8, or 4th and 8,
Yep. And it is. Moving the football back. False start. Back to the 39-yard line. Keiser jump, 4th and 7. And, yep, here comes Chance Gagnon and the punt unit for the Seahawks.
Yeah, that's a tough penalty on Keiser. I mean,
if you're not going, why move? you know what the snap count is.
I think they were going to run a play. By them jumping, that tells you they were going to run a play. I mean, they just jumped the count, that's all.
So 4th and 7, punt unit out for the Seahawks. Morningside's lining up to bring 9. Try and stop the punt. They bring pretty much all of them, but Gagnon gets the left-footed boot away. Schweigert camps under it, fair catches it, and he's got it at the 31-yard line. So Morningside, in their worst field position of the contest, starts from their own 31 with 2:03 left in the first quarter. Morningside 21, Keiser 3 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
Well, you hit it on the head, Daniel. They tried to block the punt, so they're sending 10 guys to the punt, and that leaves Schweigert up back there all by himself, and he does the smart thing. He fair catches the ball and catches it, because if he doesn't catch that ball, it's going to roll inside the 10 maybe.
Right. And if he tries to make a play with it, he's going to get blown up before he even catches the ball. So 1st and 10 of the 31-yard line. Joe Dolinchek back out there. He's led his team to 3 touchdowns on his first 3 drives back from injury. Out of the gun is Dolinchek. Handoff up the middle. KJ Williams dances through some tackles across the 34 to the 35, and there's going to be more added on to this. KJ Williams got grabbed by his face mask and being brought down to the 34-yard line. This will add more. Question will be, how much more? Minute 56 left in the first quarter. And they get the 15-yard personal foul added on to the end of the run, and KJ Williams' carry for 4 ends up being a gain of 19 to midfield and give the Mustangs a first down.
Yeah, this game is pretty close to getting out of control already here in the first quarter. If they score here and make it 28-3, I mean, it's on the verge of being out of hand.
1st and 10 in midfield. Josh Simmons motions to the left side. 2 receivers either side. Handoff KJ Williams up the middle. He breaks a tackle in the backfield. Gets across the 45. And he's brought down at the 43-yard line. Tripped up the left seam. Gain of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Well, that's two plays in a row where KJ Williams makes a guy miss in the backfield and ends up gaining positive yards on it. And that's what I've been impressed with him all along. He has a very good knack of making the first guy miss, which I think is characteristic number 1 of a running back.
2nd and 3 from the Seahawk 43. 2 receivers left, 1 right, tight end right. They motion Josh Simmons left to right as a receiver. Out of the gun is Dolinchek. Play action, throws left numbers. It's caught by Zach Norton across the 35, and he steps out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Gain of 11 and a first down for the Mustangs.
They're just throwing a deep out to the single receiver side, and Norton was a single receiver, but the play fake holds the outside linebacker for just a second, so he can't get underneath the out route, and Dolinchek made a great throw right there.
Minute 10 here in the first quarter. Morningside 21, Keiser 3. 1st and 10 from the Seahawk 32. Out of the gun, Dolinchek, play action. Throws a wobbler over the middle. It's picked off at the 20-yard line. Taken back by the Seahawks to the 30. 33-yard line. Jalen Willis with the interception up to the 33. And that'll give Keiser a first down on their first turnover of the contest. And there's the finger, Bob.
Yeah.
Obviously, their finger was there.
They brought Austin Johnson in motion, and they tried to hit him on a seam route right up the middle. I think they wanted to hit him on it, but he actually got knocked down by a defender, and that made Dolinchek go to his second read. And you're right, he grossly underthrew the ball, and
so Keiser gets the football. It's only the 3rd interception thrown all year by Joe. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Keiser. Now maybe the turnover gives them some momentum. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. This is a handoff up the middle. It's Jaden Meisinger. Gets across the 35 to the 36. It's a gain of 3. 2nd and 7.
Well, look who's in on the tackle. He doesn't make the tackle, but he's in on it, and that's Boyd, the safety. I mean, that tells you that they're playing quarters coverage and that the safeties are run support first. And when you do that, it's very difficult to block the safety. Now here they're in a whole different coverage right here.
Out of the pistol is Spencer. 2 receivers either side. Motions the back out of the backfield. The Mustangs rush 4. Spencer throws left numbers. Caught by Seth Roll. He gets across the 40, and he steps out of bounds across the 45 to the 47. Gain of 11. It's a first down.
Yeah, that's a nice design play by Keiser. They motion the back to the wide side of the field, and they come back to the boundary to the 2 receiver side, and they just run vertical speed out by number 2, and it's pretty hard to cover that number 2 speed out unless the corner can come up on it and help out. But then the vertical's open.
Game clock's down to 3. It looks like Keiser will take this 1st and 10 into quarter number 2. Our score, top-ranked Morningside 21, 12th-ranked Keiser 3 on the People's Bank scoreboard. We'll take a 1-minute break. When we come back, we'll start the second quarter from Elwood Olson Stadium. We're back after this on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back here to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City alongside Bob Goodvin. I'm Daniel Versteg. So we start quarter number 2. Keiser has the football at their own 47-yard line. This handoff up the middle on 1st and 10 picks up 3 yards to midfield. It's Jaden Meisinger on the touch. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Seahawks at the 50-yard line. Quarter number 1 comes and goes. Morningside with 172 yards of total offense, 152 through the air. Joe Dolencheck, 10 of 15, returning to the football field with 2 touchdowns and an interception. Again, becoming the all-time college football passing touchdown leader. 2nd and 7 from midfield. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Out of the pistol is Spencer. He turns and gives to Meisinger around the left side, trying to get off tackle, and he can't do it. He loses a yard back to the 49-yard line of Keiser. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 8. Third and 8 here for Keiser at their own 49-yard line. Seahawks are going to have to hurry. Play clock's under 10. So they try and move the football, try and get an offensive score. Their only scorer was a field goal. 21-3 Morningside. Play clock down to 1. Spencer takes the bell high snap, a short drop, pass over the middle. It's caught by Seth Roll. Up across the 40 in between the seams. He's got more than enough for a 1st down to the 36. A gain of 13, and the Seahawks move the chains. Is one of their top receiver targets. Handoff up the middle, and Jaden Meisinger gets absolutely stuffed back at the 38-yard line. They'll lose him 2, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and long. Yes. Yep. That is such a problem. I mean, it's a good problem for Morningside. It's a horrible problem for Keiser. 2nd and 12 from the 38 of Morningside. Empty look for Spencer. The Mustangs rush 4. Spencer tries to step up and run, and Brady Schlager's got him in a bear hug at the 40-yard line. Brings him down for a 2-yard sack, and that'll set up 3rd and 14 for the Seahawks. 12 minutes to go in the first half, 21-3. Morningside on top of Keiser. It's 3rd and 14 from the 40. Play action, 3-step drop. Spencer takes a shot deep over the middle, and he overthrew his man by about 3 yards. Michael Robinson trying to haul that into the end zone, but Spencer with too much juice. It'll bring up 4th and 14. And, well, the special teams unit comes out for the Seahawks. It'll be a punt.
He's coming from our side of the field, or the right side of the field. What the quarterback needs to do is throw the ball to the wide side of the field and let him run and get it. And what he does is he throws the ball over his head, and that makes the angle of the catch very, very difficult. And he just throw the ball to the open grass.
Mm-hmm. 4th and 14. The punt for Gagnon gets it away from the rush. High right-footed spiraler, and Schweiger totally deked the Keiser special teams unit. He was camped out of the 10-yard line. That punt was over his head at the 3. Seahawks were all camped around him, and, well, the Seahawks end up letting it roll into the end zone for a touchback at the 20-yard line. And so Morningside will start from their own 20.
Yeah, it's a good play by Schweiger. You're right, but it's poor execution by the punt team, because when the punt returner fair catches it, the Bullets' job, the 2 first guys down the field, they got to get behind the return guy.
Right.
And because there's no threat of the return.
He can't return.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Bullets got to get behind them. And I mean, the ball bounced on the 1, so they probably wouldn't have got it anyway. But, I mean, it's just kind of poor execution.
1st and 10 from the 20. Dalenchek in the gun. Motions a receiver to the left side. Takes a snap at a play action fake. Short drop. Lobs up another wobbler. Right numbers. Johnson coming back to the football. Fight for it on the ground. He couldn't come up with it. On coverage was Kensley Johnson, the sophomore corner. It's an incomplete pass. It's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, you just got one word about that throw, and that's finger. I mean, that you don't see Dalenchek make that throw very often.
Dalenchek never makes that throw.
Yeah, and he's probably lucky the ball didn't get intercepted.
Absolutely, yeah. Johnson, had he turned back, Kensley Johnson, I should say, had he turned back to the football, probably should have picked that off. 2nd and 10 from the 20. Austin Johnson motions to the right side. A handoff up the middle. It's KJ Williams fighting really hard, and he only comes up with a yard to the 21. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 9. Some extracurriculars afterwards, some extra pushing and shoving. No flags called. Of course, the intensity of a playoff game kind of will dictate that. 3rd and 9 upcoming for the Mustangs from their own 21-yard line. With 11:13 to go in the first half, Morningside 21, Keiser 3 here on the People's Bank scoreboard. It's an empty backfield look for Joe Dalenchek. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left, with Sione Tuifua, the tight end, on the right side. Play clock's under 10. Dalenchek, helmet high snap and a 3-step drop. Stands in the pocket, dumps it off over the middle. Michael Payne wide open. Left numbers 30, 35, 40. He's out of bounds before the 45-yard line at the 44. Just a simple crossing route. He gets 23 yards and a 1st down for the Mustangs.
Well, that's a shallow cross route, and I mean, in reality, there's only one position that can stop that, and that's linebackers. They've got to wall off the receiver, meaning you can't let him cross the field, because if he crosses the field, there's nobody left, and that's what you saw right there. 1st
and 10 from the 44. Dalenchek gives up the middle, and KJ Williams knifes his way through the line, picks up 3 yards across the 45 to the 47. It's going to set up 2nd down and 7. Morningside 21, Keiser 3 on the People's Bank scoreboard with 10:20 left to play in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll get you caught up on all of the action around the NAIA FCS. That's coming up at the half. 2nd and 7. Dalenchek gives up the middle, and KJ Williams fighting his way for extra yard singular to the 48. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 6. KJ Williams helped up after taking that hit. He appears to be all right, maybe just slightly shaken up, and so they're going to get Bryson Freeberg into the contest to replace him. This will be a first touch out of the backfield for Bryson Freeberg today. 2 receivers either side of the formation on 3rd down and 6 from the 48-yard line. It's Dalenchek in the gun. Mustangs lined up on the left hash. Dalenchek, the bell high snap, play action, drops to throw, lobs it up toward the right numbers, 50-50 ball. And coming back to the football, Michael Payne couldn't make the play. Jay Stewart, the linebacker in on coverage, was there to bat it away. It'll be 4th and 6, and here comes Justin McElligott in the punt unit.
Well, in the first half, I think it's easy to see this in Dolenchek. Anything short to intermediate, he throws very, very well.
Yes.
I mean, he's the old Dolenchek there, but as soon as he starts to throw the ball vertically, he's underthrowing everything, and the ball has no spin to it, so he's struggling throwing the ball vertically.
Seems like 15 yards and up is kind of the danger zone for him as McElligott gets this right-footed line drive, end-over-end kick away. It takes a little bit of a Mustang roll before curling toward the sideline and is downed by Jacob Murphy, the long snapper, at the 26-yard line. So Keiser will start outside the 25. They'll have 1st and 10 of their own 26-yard line. And that, not being able to throw downfield, Bob, is really a big part of, that's a lot of Morningside's ability, taking shots. You hear Coach Ryan talk about taking shots. And if they can't take shots on a defense, it's problematic for them.
Well, they want to take shots because safeties are nowhere to be found, and the safeties are up playing man on somebody, or they're up in the box supporting the run.
Play action, and Spencer looks to keep around the right side, and Weston Schultz brought him down from behind to the 24. That's a loss of 2, and Spencer shaken up after that tackle. Spencer got tackled pretty hard by Weston Schultz on that keep around the right side, and now training staff for both teams coming out to see what can be done with Shea Spencer, the single-season passing yards leader in Keiser history. He got grabbed high and then wrestled down pretty hard by Weston Schultz. And it might be his arm that they're looking at. With 9:09 left in the first half, top-ranked Morningside leads 12th-ranked Keiser 21-3 here on the People's Bank scoreboard. We'll take a short injury break. We'll come back and keep the action going. Keiser will have 2nd and 11 when we come back here on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back here to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City alongside Bob Goodvin, Daniel Versteg with you. 9:09 left in the first half, and Shea Spencer, quarterback of the 12th-ranked Seahawks, being helped off the field. He's walking off under his own power. It's obviously an upper body type injury following the very, very dangerous tackle by Weston Schultz. Not illegal, but it was pretty rough. Now it'll be 2nd and 11 for the Seahawks. Bryce Veasley, the junior from Southfield, Michigan, will take over at quarterback for the Seahawks. 2 receivers left, 1 right, a play-action fake, and he keeps around the left side and barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 3rd and 11 up next.
He appears to be a pretty big quarterback.
6'4", 221.
Yep.
He's run the ball a little bit more than Spencer has, at least comparatively speaking. Of course, he hasn't been in there more. But he runs a little bit more than he passes the football. So we'll see if that adds a wrinkle here for the Seahawk offense. It is 3rd down and 11 from the 25-yard line. Keiser now without their starting quarterback, trailing 21-3 here on the People's Bank scoreboard. Veasley out of the gun, drops back to throw with 4 receivers, steps up, passes over the middle, and a flag is coming.
That's interference.
Jalen Arnold got brought down from behind before the pass came in by Lonell Boyd Jr., It's a 15-yard pass interference penalty, and the Seahawks get a 1st down.
And Boyd knows it.
Yep.
In today's world, if there's even any doubt whatsoever, you're talking about it.
Yep.
And he's not even trying to play innocent.
Yep. Well, and the other part too, Bob, is he probably feels even worse because that ball was overthrown.
Yeah.
He was not going to catch that ball. And of course, the catchability of the ball does not totally play into factor about the pass interference penalty. So 1st and 10 here at the 40-yard line. Keiser lines up needing the midfield line to pick up a first down. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Out of the pistol is Bryce Beasley. In for the injured Chase Spencer. He turns, fakes the give. Bootlegs right. Jalen Portis is there. He passes over the middle and throws short of Seth Roll and incomplete. Drew Bessie in on the coverage to swat it away. It'll be 2nd and 10.
See, if you remember early in the game, Morningside ran an out route, and the Keiser corner jumped it and tried to go for the ball and missed it, and the guy caught the ball. I think it was Norton caught the ball for about 10, 15 more yards. That time, Vesey went for the ball and got the ball. And, I mean, if you're going to go for the ball, you got to get the ball, because if he catches that ball, who knows what's going to happen, because there's a lot of green grass in front of him.
Yeah, Bessie's the only help over the top if he doesn't get the ball. So 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line. It's Beasley. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Out of the gun, Beasley the snap, and we've got a whistle.
It's got to be some type of movement.
It's a delay of game, actually.
Yep.
Delay of game on the Seahawks. Back to the 35. That'll be 2nd and 15, and the penalties have not been pretty here for Keiser today. That is going to be penalty number 5 for 35 yards. Yardage-wise, not a lot, but quantity of penalties have been impactful here for the Seahawks.
The timing of them.
And the timing, yes. 2nd and 15 from the 35. It's Beasley, fake of the give, keeps off right tackle in between the hashes. He dives to the 38-yard line, gets 3 hard-earned yards. It'll be 3rd and a dozen. 8:02 left in the first half. Morningside 21, Keiser 3 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Winner earns a date in next week's NAIA Football Championship Series semifinal round. Of course, the Mustangs would love for nothing more than to host one more football game here on Elwood Olson Stadium's field this season. 3rd and a dozen from the 38-yard line. 2 receivers either side of Beasley in the gun. He takes the knee-high snap and a 3-step drop, steps up, rolls out to his right, buys some more time, throws toward the boundary, and a great catch at the 49-yard line by Michael Robinson. He stayed in bounds. He got 13, just enough for a Keiser first down.
Well, that's a really good route, because it's a comeback route, and he runs it just deep enough to get the first down, and that's just awareness of where you're at on the field. It's awareness of the situation, and, hats off to the Keiser receiver right there.
Yeah, that's Michael Robinson, sophomore out of Jupiter, Florida, 5'10", $185. Only 17 catches coming into today, but that's a huge one there for the Seahawks. 2 receivers left, 1 right, tight end left side of Beasley in the pistol. He turns and gives to Meisinger around the left side. Up the left seam he goes to the 46, tackled forward to the 45. A good gain of 4 yards to set up 2nd and 6.
That's a really good play for Keiser right there. On first down, pick up 4 yards, 5 yards, stay ahead of the chains, keep the clock going, keep the Morningside offense off the field. I mean, that's, other than the fact it's 21-3, that's exactly what you want to do.
Well, but then you also think about if they do get in the end zone here late, they'll get the second half kickoff, and right away you can cut it to a 4-point ball game if you can execute both drives. 2nd and 6 from the Morningside 45. Beasley empties the backfield, drops the throw, a little screen pass left side. It is in and out of the hands of the Seahawk receiver Miles Henderson. Incomplete. 3rd and 6 up next.
Well, that's that hash screen that Morningside runs so well, and they motion the tailback to the right and throw the hash screen back to the left, and whether it's the number 2 receiver or the offensive lineman, one of them have got to get the corner, and the corner's on playing man, so he's jumping the route, and nobody blocked him, so it's a good play by the Morningside corner.
Here come those cowbells again on 3rd down and 6. Seahawks at the Mustang 45-yard line, trying to keep this drive alive and get themselves some points on offense. 2 receivers either side of Beasley. Knee-high snap, throws left sideline, wide open. Miles Henderson makes the catch at the 37-yard line. He gets 8 yards, and the Seahawks have a first down.
Earlier to the 2 receiver side, they went vertical speed out by 1 and 2, and that time they went deep out and speed out by number 2, and what that does is it keeps that outside linebacker from getting underneath the deep out.
First and 10 here at the Mustang 37-yard line. 2 receivers either side. It's a low snap. Beasley drops to throw. Pump fakes. Takes a shot deep over the left seam to the end zone. And barely overthrew Seth Roll. Incomplete. It's going to bring up second down and 10. Dijon Walls came underneath, tried to get up for that one.
Well, again, I mean, look at the middle of the field. It's wide open, and that's where he's got to throw that ball. Just throw it up high and into the middle of the field and let your receiver go get it.
5:52 left of the first half. Morningside 21, Keiser 3 here on the People's Bank scoreboard. It's second down and 10 for the Seahawks from the Mustang 37-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Tight end right side and Jalen Arnold, one of the best the country has to offer. Shea Spencer out of the gun, gives to Meisinger, looks for a hole, patient run, able to get 2 yards straight up the gut to the 35, sets up third down and 8.
And who made the tackle? Boyd, the safety.
Boyd.
I mean, that tells you that what coverage they're in. When the safeties are making tackles on the line of scrimmage, that means they're playing quarters coverage. And somewhere along the line, what you can do to that is play action it and try to throw over the top because the safety would be up on the line of scrimmage.
Well, I think that probably what they were trying to do and do a play ago with that.
Well, but
that
the safety wasn't up there, so they caught him in the wrong coverage.
Third and 8 here at the 35. Beasley rolls out right with 4 receivers, throws toward the right sideline and threw wide of Michael Robinson. It's incomplete. 4th and 8 up next for the Seahawks of the Mustang 35.
Yeah, the quarterback just got a little impatient. He had the comeback route coming open, and he just threw the ball a little bit too soon, and he didn't have to because they got him out of the pocket, and he was not under duress. And just hold the ball for a split second longer and let the route develop more.
5:09 left in the half. 21-3. Morningside on top here on the People's Bank scoreboard. 4th and 8, and the Seahawks at this point in the field, they have to go for it. 2 receivers either side of Beasley. An ankle-high snap. Short drop. Passes left. Numbers caught across the 30 to the 27-yard line. Miles Henderson picks up 9. It's a first down for Keiser.
This quarterback's starting to get comfortable in the pocket. I mean, that's a heck of a throw right there. And, again, a great route because you know exactly where the first down marker is. And, that's great field presence by the receivers.
And I'll probably pull a page out of your playbook. I think it's blown coverage by the Mustangs. Brody Nelson was in there on coverage. Coach Casey Jacobson gave him an earful coming to the sideline. Beasley pump fakes on 1st and 10, keeps up the middle and gets positive yardage. He makes his own play, picks up 3 to the 23, sets up 2nd and 7.
Again, I think that's a sign right there of, again, starting to feel comfortable and everything because he wanted to throw the hitch route, and the hitch route was taken away, and he did a good job of just tucking the ball away and getting upfield and making positive yards. I mean, it's beating a dead horse, but 2nd and 6 is better than 2nd and 10. Yep. I mean, it's an easier play call.
This drive has taken over 5 minutes off of the clock, and we'll have more. 2nd and 7 from the Mustang 23. Low snap. Beasley around the right side to Meisinger. And a great stop from behind by Colton Dreeth. No gain. 3rd and 7 up next.
That's a zone read play, but when the ball's down on the ground, the quarterback's forced to take his eyes off his read, and his read is number 43, the defensive end, and he was squeezing really hard, and he's the one who made the play, but the quarterback couldn't read him because he had to take his eyes off of him to catch the bad snap.
3rd and 7, 3:40 left in the half. 21-3 Morningside on the People's Bank scoreboard. Seahawks have already converted a big 4th down on this drive. Need a big 3rd down conversion here with 3rd and 7. Beasley out of the gun. 3 receivers left, 1 right. He motions the tight end closer to the line of scrimmage. With 2 on the play clock, he takes the snap. Beasley passes over the middle. Arnold makes the catch close to the line to gain. He didn't get it. He's brought down to the 17, just a yard short. It is 4th down and 1 for Keiser.
Yeah, it's 4th and a short one. I think it's going to be about half a yard to go. And, if I'm Keiser, I wouldn't be afraid to let the play clock go down here and then call timeout. Yep. Yeah, just to be sure you got the right play, to take time off the clock.
They've got all 3. I mean, it's not going to kill them to use one here. 4th and 1. Seahawks line up. Beasley barks some commands to his line. 2 receivers left, 1 right, tight end left. He tries hard count. Now he takes the snap, gives up the middle. Meisinger has a first down and more. Up the left seam across the 15 to the 13. He got 4, and the Seahawks keep it moving deeper into the Mustang red zone.
And that's exactly why I'm up here working for peanuts, and they're down there coaching college football.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, open mouth insert foot.
Yep,
we do
right.
that. We do that all the time up here in the booth. 1st and 10 for the Seahawks, now at the Mustang 13. 2:22 left in the half, approaching 7 minutes in this drive. It's Beasley in the gun, a receiver on either side. The backup QB for Keiser keeps off the fake give, and he dives forward for 2 to the 11. That's a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 up next.
Well, he's such a big body. I mean, if he gets his momentum going forward, he's going to fall ahead for 2 yards. I mean, so I'm impressed with number 5, the quarterback. I mean, he's doing a really good job for his first series.
It's a transfer out of Duquesne, and when he's showing up here big as a backup quarterback. 2nd and 8. Beasley gives around the right side. Meisinger turns upfield, breaks tackles to the 5, and gets in for a Keiser touchdown. Jaden Meisinger turned upfield as he was looking to go sweep right side, and he gets in for a Seahawk touchdown. And with 1:39 left in the first half, Morningside leads 21-9 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
Well, it's sort of an outside zone look, and that gets your linebacker really flowing hard outside. And when he can put his foot in the ground and get vertical, the linebacker's gonna overrun the play. And there, for the first time, you saw his speed.
Mm-hmm. It's his 10th touchdown run of the year. Chance Gagnon with the left-footed boot off of the hold of Matthew DeSisto, and he puts it in for the point after. After 7, nearly 8 grueling minutes, Keiser scores 21-10. Morningside on top of the People's Bank scoreboard. We're back in 30 seconds. More Mustang football on Fox Sports Radio 620, KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back here to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City, up in the Irving and Carolyn Jensen press box. Alongside Bob Goodvin, I'm Daniel Versteg. 1:39 to go in the first half. Top-ranked Morningside leads Keiser 21-10 on the People's Bank scoreboard. The Seahawks just put together a magnificent drive with a backup quarterback. 18 plays, 74 yards, took 7 minutes and 40 seconds off of the clock. And they are rewarded with a touchdown and a point after to make it an 11-point ball game. And now with 1:39 left of the half, this pooch kick goes toward the far numbers. And it is fielded on a fair catch by Jack Sievert at the 31-yard line. Morningside will start with 1st and 10. But, Bob, now 1:39 left in the half. Morningside has all 3 timeouts. That is plenty of time for the Mustangs to get that score back.
No, that's eternity.
Yes.
I mean, that time is almost zero factor right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you say that with 1:39 left. I mean, even if they didn't have any timeouts left, I'd say
it's still probably zero factor.
Yeah.
But here we go. Let's see if they can manufacture something, because they haven't scored since there was 3 minutes and 53 seconds left in the first quarter. 1st and 10 of the 31. It's Dolanchek in the gun. 2 receivers either side. He takes a snap, handoff around the left side. KJ Williams fights back, barely gets to the line of scrimmage. No gain for Williams. The Seahawk defense came to play there. It's 2nd and 10.
You know, I know last week they ran the ball very well, but they just consistently can't run the ball. Yep. I mean, that's kind of their weakness right now on offense.
Well, and you corrected me in the pregame accurately. They ran the ball well in the first quarter.
Yes.
Last 3 were tricky as Dolanchek airmails a short route right side to Austin Johnson. That's going to bring up 3rd and 10 with 1:11 to go in the half.
Well, this isn't a 100% Joe Dolanchek. That's horribly obvious. And you know, I don't know how people put what percent you are. I mean,
you're right.
But when he throws the ball vertically or has to throw the ball quickly, he's really struggling right now. And I mean that's something that he normally does so very well.
It's the reason he's reigning NAIA Player of the Year. 3rd down and 10 of the 31. Dolanchek, 3-step drop, stands in the pocket, throws right sideline. Austin Johnson juggled the pass. He didn't have control of it. He did bring it in with one hand, but he brought it in out of bounds. And so the Mustangs will go 3 and out to start this drive, and they'll be forced to punt with 1:05 left in the half with the clock stopped.
And 3 and out with two incomplete passes.
Yeah.
So now
Keiser has all 3 timeouts.
Right, and they're going to get the ball back with about a minute to go in the game, and they should, or half, should get the ball around the 35, 40-yard line.
They're going to send 2 return men back. Justin McElligott ready to boot this one away. Line of scrimmage at his own 31. He's standing at his own 16 on 4th and 10. Snap to McElligott, knee high, gets it right-footed, spiraling kick. That one has a lot of carry. Going back for it is Jay Stewart. He fields at the 32-yard line, run out of bounds. Logan Maycomer brings him down, out of bounds at the 32. And Keiser will start their drive at their own 32-yard line.
Good punt because he punted away
Yes.
from even the two return guys that were back. He punted it into the sideline, but as good a punt as it was a better catch.
Right.
Because if he doesn't catch that ball's rolling way inside the 15, maybe inside the 10-yard line.
Well, Bob, it looked like that punt was still rising at about the 45 or the 40 of Keiser before it just kind of finally, the spiral dipped down and it started heading toward the turf.
Yeah, it was a tail dragger, we call it.
Yeah.
And tail draggers have a tendency to hit the turf and roll.
You're right. So Keiser has 1st and 10 of their own 31-yard line. 56 seconds left in the half. All 3 timeouts, down 11. Beasley, the low snap, drops to throw. Stands in the pocket, all kinds of time. Passes left seam. It is caught by Michael Robinson across the 40 to the 43. Clock will stop for a moment as they get a 1st down.
Well, I'll say this again. I'm really impressed with this quarterback.
Yes.
He sat in the pocket nice there, and he threw a heck of a ball.
Bryce Beasley now hurries them up. Clock runs with 43 seconds in the half. Knee-high snap, drops to throw on 1st and 10. Has plenty of time again. Throws right seam. It's in and out of the hands of Miles Henderson. He would have had a 1st down. Instead, it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 upcoming.
Just watch the quarterback in the pocket. He's not sitting still and growing roots, as we would say, but he's also not he's not crazily moving around in the pocket. He's just got good motion to him, and he's got great timing.
This is the calmest any quarterbacks looked in a pocket against Morningside in a very long time. Quarterbacks are always on edge against Morningside defensively, as they should be most of the time. 2nd and 10 for the 43. Beasley out of the gun. The Mustangs rush 4. He has time again. All kinds of time. Throws left sideline. It's caught. And out of bounds with it at the 45 is Michael Robinson. He gets 12. It's a 1st down for Keiser.
Man, Pingle's right there. You're sitting here saying, how did Pingle not knock that ball down? And it's because it was a perfect throw. It's literally a perfect throw. One of the things I saw earlier is Weston Schultz was coming so hard that his momentum was pushing him upfield and past the quarterback. And now he's kind of slowed himself down, which allows the tackle to kind of block him a little bit better.
Beasley drops at 1st and 10. Schultz broke free, but they lob it up left sideline. And a great diving try by Jalen Arnold. He got both hands on the football, but couldn't bring it into the 15-yard line. An excellent effort. It falls to the turf. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And as soon as I say that, what happens? He beats
free.
the tackle.
He totally beat him.
If anything else, I got your attention on him. That's
Absolutely. You knew that was coming. You wanted to highlight him. 23 seconds left in the half. Morningside up on Keiser, 21-10. Remember, the Seahawks still have all 3 timeouts. Running out of time to use them, but they haven't had to use them yet on this drive. 2nd and 10 for the Mustang 45. 2 receivers either side of Bryce Beasley, the backup in the gun. He takes the bell high snap, throws toward the right sideline. Catch made at the 40 by Seth Roll. He's tackled in bounds at the 36. Timeout called.
Timeout.
Doug Sosha, the 5th-year head coach at Keiser, the only head coach this program has ever seen, calls a timeout as the Seahawks get a 3rd and 1 at the 36-yard line with 15 seconds left to go in the half. We'll take a timeout as well, and we'll come back with the finish of this half in 30 seconds here on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back here to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City, broadcasting to you live from the Irving and Carolyn Jensen press box. Alongside Bob Goodvin, Daniel Versteeg with you. 15 seconds left to go in the first half. Top-ranked Morningside leads 12th-ranked Keiser, 21-10 on the People's Bank scoreboard. The Seahawks use their first of 3 timeouts from their 5th-year head coach, Doug Sosha, the only head coach Keiser has ever seen. He's led the Seahawks now to their 4th playoff appearance and a 41-12 record overall coming into today. It's 3rd and 1 for Keiser from the Mustang 36-yard line. 2 receivers line up on either side of the formation of Bryce Veasley in the gun. Back off his left hip and Meisinger. Takes the short snap, drops to throw, pump fakes, tries to run up the middle. He didn't get the line to gain. He loses a yard back to the 37. Coach Sosha used another timeout. It'll be 4th and 2. We'll keep it here. They have 1 timeout remaining, 9 seconds left to go in the half. And, whoa, that's a very generous spot. But, Bob, 4th and short at this point in the field. For reference, your kicker has made from 48. He's attempted from 50 this year. What do you think here? What's going through their head right now?
Well, I'd be a little bit concerned that he's kicking in. I mean, if you look at the flagpole here, it looks like he's kicking into a little bit of a wind. But look at the flagpole across the stadium over there.
It's true.
There it looks like he's kicking with a very strong wind at his back.
That's
so you can just. I mean, the wind's doing 2 different things here as we're looking at 2 different flags.
Right. Yeah. There's a flag across the way at the base of what used to be Cheapskates Hill, and that one's blowing with Keiser. And the one on the other end of Elwood Olson Stadium is blowing with the Mustangs. So take your pick, but they are going to line up for the field goal here.
See, Morningside should put a guy back there.
Yes.
To return it if the ball doesn't make it to the goal line. I mean, chances are it's going to make it to the goal line. But if you can return this, you got 7 guys out there who can't tackle you. They're called the offensive line.
It's a 53-yard field goal off the right hash. This will be the longest made all season. Chance Gagnon tries to boot it through. Here's the snap. It's a good spot. The left-footed kick has nowhere near the leg. Joe, it was really close, but did not get quite to the uprights. It is no good. It had the accuracy, but it maybe fell a yard and a half short, if that. And so with 3 seconds left to go in the half, a missed 53-yard field goal would have made it an 8-point ball game with the Seahawks getting the ball to start the second half. And now Morningside will line up and knee it out heading into the break. So our score, 21-10. Morningside on top on the People's Bank scoreboard. The Mustangs will line up in the kneel-down formation and see if they can just send this one in the locker room. Joe takes the snap, knees it out, and after 30 minutes of football, Morningside uses the first 12 well to score 21 points. Keiser uses the final 18 to score 10. Our score, 21-10. Morningside on top here on the People's Bank scoreboard as we head into our halftime coverage. Coming up in the half, we'll break down all of what you've just witnessed here in the last 30 minutes, get you caught up on what the next 30 minutes has to offer, and we'll also check in on the other contests going on around the country. 3 of them in this state, 1 of them in Indiana. We'll get you caught up on all those contests in the NAIA Football Championship Series quarterfinal round when we come back. It's our halftime coverage. Top-ranked Morningside leads 12th-ranked Keiser from Elwood Olson Stadium, 21-10 on the People's Bank scoreboard. We're back in 4 minutes with our halftime coverage here on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS Sioux City. We welcome you back here to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City for our halftime coverage. Top-ranked Morningside leads Keiser by a score of 21-10 on the People's Bank scoreboard at the halftime break. Alongside Bob Goodvin, I'm Daniel Versteg. Let's break down this first half. A wild one here. Morningside scores 21 in the first quarter. They've been held in check here in the second quarter, and we'll break it down for you. Let's start with the scoring summary. Morningside opened the contest with a 6-play, 47-yard drive in a minute and a half that was capped off by K.J. Williams' touchdown run, made it 7-0. Kaiser's first drive went 9 plays, 36 yards. Chance Gagnon finished it off with a 39-yard field goal. It was 7-3. A couple of touchdown passes later, Joe Dalenchek's first to Zach Norton, his second to K.J. Williams, all inside of 8.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, made it 21-3 at the end of the first quarter. And then Keiser went on that miraculous drive, 18 plays, 74 yards in 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Jaden Meisinger capped it off with an 11-yard touchdown run, made it 21-10. Seahawks would get another chance to score. They tried a 53-yard field goal that came up just a yard short, and that would have made it at least a one-possession game heading into this halftime break with the Seahawks getting the football to start the second half. Some of the numbers here in the first half of the contest, they are not pretty quarter to quarter. We'll break some of that down here in just a little bit. Morningside, 196 yards of total offense, 175 through the air, just 21 on the ground. Keiser, 173 yards of offense, 123 passing, 50 rushing. Morningside's punted twice. Keiser's punted 3 times. The Seahawks had the only turnover. It was an interception of Joe Dalenchek in the first quarter. The penalties, Keiser 5 penalties for 35 yards. Morningside 3 penalties, 25 yards. Time of possession solely in Keiser's favor, 20.5 minutes to Morningside's 9.5 minutes. Mustangs 3 of 5 on third downs, 2 for 2 when getting a chance to score in the red zone. Keiser 6 of 14 on third downs, 2 of 2 on fourth downs. They're 1 of 1 when getting a chance to score in the red zone. And Bob, here's what I'm talking about. Quarter to quarter, Morningside put up 24 yards in the second quarter of offense, 23 through the air, 1 on the ground. And now you could chalk a lot of that up to them probably not having the football in the second quarter, but still, not many teams can hold Morningside to less than 30 yards of offense in a quarter, and Keiser was able to do that very, very well in that second quarter.
Well, I think that the biggest contributing factor to that is, like you said, they just didn't have the ball. My guess is Keiser had the ball probably 10, 11 minutes of the second quarter, and if not even more. So it's pretty hard to score if you don't have the ball, and it's pretty hard to gain yards if you don't have the ball. So what impresses me more than anything is the backup quarterback for Keiser.
Yeah.
I mean, for a young guy, he's a big guy. I mean, he's 6'4", 220 pounds, and but he's really quiet in the pocket. I mean, what I mean by that is there's no excess movement. He doesn't have happy feet. He's hanging in there, and
he did that a little bit to start the drive, but settled into it.
Yeah. As that drive went on, you could see him just get more and more comfortable with everything. And, I think you saw 2 different approaches by the defensive ends for Morningside. I think early on they really tried to speed rush the tackles and had very good success doing that. And finally what at least the right tackle on Weston Schultz figured out is let his momentum take him out of the play. So in other words, he's coming so hard, you're able to just push him upfield and pass the quarterback. And when I said that, to Weston Schultz's credit, he slowed his rush down and he kind of bull rushed the guy a little bit and got in on the quarterback.
Yeah, to your point earlier, by the way, just mathing it out, Keiser had the football for 11 minutes and 50 seconds in the second quarter. And, yeah, so that definitely impacts Morningside's ability to move the football. Some of the individual numbers here in the contest for Morningside, Joe Dalenchek, 11 of 20 passing, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also threw for an interception. He did become college football's all-time passing touchdown leader, now with 167 in his Mustang football career. On the ground, K.J. Williams, 11 carries, 25 yards a score. Zach Norton, 3 catches, 41 yards, a touchdown. K.J. Williams, 1 catch for 8 yards, but it was for 6 points. And Austin Johnson, 3 catches, 64 yards. Michael Payne having a great day as well, 2 catches, 38 yards. On the defensive side, Morningside is led by Weston Schultz. Lionel Boyd Jr. has more tackles, 8 tackles on the day. Jonah Kolbaum, 6. But Weston Schultz, his 6 tackles have been very impactful. They've included 3 tackles for loss and a half a sack in the contest. Brady Schlager has 2 tackles for loss and a sack. Jonah Kolbaum with a tackle for loss. And Jalen Portis got in there on half a sack as well. For Keiser, they're led offensively by that backup quarterback, Bryce Feasley, 7 of 13, 69 yards. Shea Spencer, 5 of 10 for 54 yards before going down with an apparent injury. On the ground, Seahawks are led by Marquise Burgess, just 2 carries for 15 yards. I know he's been dealing with some nagging pain here the last couple of weeks. So Jaden Meisinger has got the bulk of the touches, 13 carries, 10 yards, and a rushing touchdown. That rushing touchdown went for 11. Shea Spencer had 13 yards on the ground before exiting. Seth Roll, 4 catches, 53 yards. Michael Robinson, 3 catches for 37 yards. Seahawks are led on defense by Brian Edwards with 4 tackles. Jalen Willis has the interception. For the Mustangs here in the second half, it's gonna be right away out of the get-go here, Bob. Keiser's going to get the football here to start the second half, and they're going to want to get this to a 1-score game right away. Morningside defensively, what kind of things can they work on here coming out of the locker room? Because you never see a team work an 18-play drive on Morningside. A quick drive, yes. Scoring drive, yes. 18 plays, 7.5 minutes, that just doesn't happen.
Well, it really doesn't happen at too many levels of the game of football, because the more plays you run, the more likely you are to screw something up,
right.
And something bad's going to happen, whether it's a penalty or a negative play or whatever. But the problem I see with this backup quarterback is he's a little bit more of a threat to run. That would be my guess. And I mean, there's even times when he's looking to run, and they call quarterback design run plays for him, and when you have that, that's just a different thing you got to worry about, and a different thing you got to defend. So,
and Morningside has shown at times they can defend it well, but a lot of times, Bob, a mobile quarterback, athletic quarterback really gives Morningside some fits. I mean, it's one of those things that if you have that, you may have Morningside's number, but the problem is a lot of teams don't have that. I mean, this has just thrown a totally different wrinkle into the contest.
Well, a running quarterback gives every defense at every level fits.
Yep.
I mean, look at the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is a threat to run the ball,
right.
and defenses have a hard time stopping that. And then you look at the Division I level. Alabama was. If you play Alabama in a phone booth, meaning you just play between the hashes with no threat of the deep pass or no threat of the run, I mean, they're awesome defensively,
right.
them in Georgia. But as soon as you throw in that running quarterback, I mean, it's just hard to explain. But you can't defend them. You can't defend all of it. Let's just put it that way.
Right. It's one of those you kind of have to pick your poison
right.
in a way.
That's exactly right. And then if that running quarterback can throw the ball vertically, I mean, now you really got a serious problem. And so.
And he's got an arm. He proved that.
He's got a really good arm. I mean, I would say right now, because of Dalenchek's hand situation, he's throwing the ball much better than Dalenchek is. I mean, just watch him in the second half. Watch when he gets in the pocket how he doesn't have a lot of excess movement. And it's a term that we call he's quiet in the pocket. Just be quiet with your feet, quiet with your upper body, and let things develop. And for a backup quarterback, I'm really impressed that he can do that.
Talking about the starting quarterback that's still in the game, and Joe Dalenchek, Bob, it's become apparent. It maybe was not apparent in the first quarter, but it's become apparent big time here in the second quarter. That finger is messing with him right now. Do you see Morningside maybe changing something up offensively to try and either take the pressure off Joe, shorten the routes up? I mean, what do you think?
Well, I think what he struggles with is something where he's got to catch it and throw it fast, and that would be their screen game, and that's a big part of their offense.
It's a huge part of their offense.
And I mean, he struggles with that, and he also struggles with throwing the ball vertically. And when I mean vertically, I mean 25 or more yards downfield. Right. But that where he can catch the ball, have time to grip it, set his feet, and that would be a throw anywhere from 5 to 20 yards. Sure. That's what we call short to intermediate. He's pretty good at that. I mean, he looks like the old Dalenchek, but everything else, he's struggling, and I'm sure the hand's giving him problems. And like any good player, he's never going to say and use that as an excuse.
No.
But I guarantee you it's bothering him right now.
The $1,000,000 question, and I know we're probably not going to be right on this answer. Could we see a change as far as offensive scheme with the quarterback position? Do they bring in Lennox Brown as an athletic kind of change to what they're trying to run offensively? And I know none of us are going to know the answer to that, but it's just a thought I have. I mean, Lennox technically was told to us to be the starting quarterback, and obviously that didn't come to fruition. But is he an option here in this scenario?
Well, you're right. We don't know the answer, but I'm going to tell you the answer as close as we can. No.
No.
I mean,
Okay.
Downcheck's going to stay in the game as long as he can. I mean, he's the best quarterback in school history. Why would you take him out to bring in a guy who hasn't started a game?
Sure.
I mean, and I get your logic, but you dance with the girl you came to the dance with.
Right.
I mean, that's
Absolutely. How about the running game now, too, Bob? No Ryan Cole, out with an injury. KJ's look good, not consistently good. He's got flashes of good. I mean, this has just kind of been the harping on Morningside all season, is that they just can't run the ball consistently.
right. That's and I wouldn't put any of that burden on the running back.
No.
I mean, I think KJ Williams is pretty good at making the first guy miss, and there was a couple plays in there back to back where he made a guy miss 2-3 yards in the backfield and ended up getting positive yards. But it's just been the case all year long with Morningside. They just can't consistently run the football.
Yep. And Morningside, well, it's shown here. They've only run the ball for 21 yards today. Our score at the break: top-ranked Morningside 21, 12th-ranked Keiser 10. On the People's Bank scoreboard, the Seahawk team was the only road team in the NAIA FCS to pick up a win last week. Well, they'll see if they can try to do it again this week. Let's take a look at scores around the NAIA Football Championship Series as 3 other games are going on around the country. One in Des Moines, one up the road in Orange City, and one in Marion, Indiana. That Marion, Indiana contest has gone final. One of the semifinalists in the NAIA Football Championship Series will be the Wildcats of Indiana Wesleyan as they beat Benedictine by the final of 24-3. Indiana Wesleyan scored 14 points in the second quarter. They were up 21-6. Benedictine put some points on the board in the third quarter, but it wasn't enough. Again, 24-13. Indiana Wesleyan beats Benedictine, and they are the first team into the semifinals. The other scores around the country, or around the state, I guess I should say, is third seed Northwestern destroying, absolutely crushing 7th seed Marion, 35-0 at the half. The Red Raiders explode for 28 points in the second quarter and just absolutely demolish their way to a lead. Jalen Gramstad, quarterback for the Red Raiders, 15 of 22, 239 yards, 4 touchdowns. All 4 have gone to Michael Story, 7 catches, 138 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Oh, and by the way, Jalen Gramstad's also run for a touchdown as well. 35-0 again, our score. Northwestern leads Marion at the half. And the score in Des Moines, this is the closest contest we've got in the NAIA Football Championship Series right now. 2nd-ranked Grandview, 8th-ranked Lindsey Wilson. They're all knotted up at the break, tied at 7. Grandview got a score to start the second quarter. Damon Streep, touchdown reception from Johnny Sullivan. Kobe Belcher had the touchdown run for Lindsey Wilson late in quarter number 1. And that contest deadlocked at 7 heading into quarter number 3. Our score here in Sioux City, Morningside 21, Keiser 10 on the People's Bank scoreboard. When we come back, Keiser will start the second half with the football. Don't go anywhere. We'll start the second half in 2 minutes here on Fox Sports Radio 620, KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back here to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City on the campus of Morningside University. Alongside Bob Goodman, I'm Daniel Versteg. Our score as we get ready to start the second half. Top-ranked Morningside 21, 12th-ranked Keiser 10 on the People's Bank scoreboard. That concludes our halftime coverage. Thanks for sticking around with us through the halftime break. And, well, if you're just coming back to start the second half, we're glad to have you as well. Let's get ready with the second half of action. Morningside will be kicking off from right to left to Keiser, thanks to the Seahawks winning the coin toss, electing to defer to start the contest. So we'll see if Ben Steffens can keep it away from that outstanding return man in Wendell Fallord, and I see him all the way on that far side of the field to the 14-yard line.
See, here they put him into the boundary,
Yep.
and that's what I was talking about. Morningside kicks from the hash, all but the hash, and so they put him into the boundary here, and they're still not going to kick to him, but
They'll kick it short up the middle, and it is fielded by Meisinger at the 30, take it up to the 35, and the short return gets Keiser some good field position at about the 36-yard line. He took that away from the tight end Hunter Vanderpool, who was going to fair catch it. So Meisinger picks them up another 5 yards. It'll be Keiser football, their own 36.
You know, we talked about Morningside's inability to run the ball all year, and that's true. I mean,
Yep.
we're not trying to be overly critical, but here's the good news: they don't have to run the ball to move the ball and to score points. I mean, that's the good news. I mean, they're built to not having to run the football to succeed.
Right,
So.
absolutely. I mean, and you know, they don't necessarily need their offense to put points up on the board as well. Defense has made plays. Special teams have made plays all year. But here we go. Keiser starts first and 10 of their own 36. Bryce Veasley still in there at quarterback. Gives around the left side to Jaden Meisinger. And he loses a yard back to the 35. Josh Miller brings him down. It'll be second down and 11.
And, you know, I have a habit of watching the safeties at the snap of the ball because the safeties will tell you everything you need to know about defense. And at that time when that ball was snapped, you saw Bessie just coming hard, and he was in on the tackle on line scrimmage.
Oh, handoff to Meisinger. He dropped the handoff, but is able to pick it up. Brought down back at the 33. Loss of 2. It'll be 3rd and 13 for Keiser. And there they crept up that time. He didn't hustle hard to the line of scrimmage, but he was still creeping up at the safety position.
Well, what that safety's doing is he's reading the number 2 receiver if there's 2 receivers out there, and if there's 3, he's still reading number 2, and if there's only 1, he's reading the tackle, and if he reads run in quarters coverage, he's coming because he's a gap player, whether it's C gap or a D gap on the play side.
Top-ranked Morningside 21, 12th-ranked Keiser 10. The Seahawks have 3rd and 13. Beasley drops back to throw. Pump fake, steps up, lobs it up, left seam, and it's overthrown, incomplete. But it was overthrown because Lonell Boyd Jr. had to interfere with his tight end, Jalen Arnold. That'll be a 15-yard penalty. Seahawks are going to get a first down.
Well, I was watching the end result, and I'm thinking, why didn't Boyd go try to intercept the ball? But I know why, because he knows he interfered, and he's saving that energy, and that's kind of an intelligent football player.
Well, they called defensive holding,
Yep.
So it's not 15 yards. It'll be 10 yards. Still a first down up to the 43.
But he knew he was guilty.
He did know.
Yeah.
Yep. Second time he's been whistled for either a pass interference or a holding today.
See, here Keiser comes out with their 2x2 set, but they're stacked, and that widens the safeties even more, and that gets them out of run support.
Throw a screen left side. It bounces into the arms of Seth Roll on the left side. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Tried to make something happen with it just in case the referee called it a backwards pass, which is the right thing to do. But now it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Seahawks from their own 43-yard line. Score 21-10. Top-ranked Morningside leads 12th-ranked Keiser on the People's Bank scoreboard. 13:39 left in quarter number 3. It's 2nd and 10 for the Seahawks from their own 43-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Tight end right side of the formation. In Veasley, hands off, up the middle. It's Meisinger around the left numbers across the 45 to midfield. He picks up 7 on 2nd and 10. Sets up 3rd down and 3.
You know, the beauty offensively, if you have a tight end like Keiser's tight end, number 14, is he can play tight end with his hand down. He can play a wideout position, and you see him quite a bit line up in the backfield. And when he's in the backfield, now you're all but in 20 personnel, and that's a different look defensively to try to defend.
3rd and 3 from midfield. Out of the pistol is Veasley. Takes the bell high snap and a play action fake. Dumps off a screen pass with a little bit of room. It is Michael Robinson for a first down across the 45 to the 42. He got 8 yards, beating the traffic on the screen. It's a first down for the Seahawks to the Mustang 42.
And what they did that time that they couldn't do before is they just got a piece of the corner. I believe it's Walls over there, and Walls was coming to make the tackle on him, and somebody just got a piece of him, whether it's the number 2 receiver or the offensive lineman going out.
So the Seahawks keep the drive moving, down by 11, 12:35 in the third. First and 10, play action. Beasley has time to throw, sets up, lobs it left sideline. He just overthrew Seth Roll inside the red zone and incomplete. Mustangs dodge a bullet. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he needed to put just a little bit more air under that ball and let him go get it. I realize he's on the sideline and might run out of field, but a little bit more air would have gave him a better chance.
Isaac Pingle was in on the coverage up there, but I don't think he had a chance to make a play on that receiver. Seth Roll had plenty of room down there until he ran toward the boundary. 2nd down and 10 of the 42 of Morningside. 3 receivers right, none left. Out of the gun is Beasley. Takes the snap, throws a screen right side. Michael Robinson can't get past the Morningside secondary. John Andreessen beat his block, got the initial hit, and he's brought down for no gain. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, those plays don't work if you don't block the corner, and that's the 3rd time they've ran the hash screen to the number 1 receiver, and 2 of the 3 times they just can't get the corner blocked.
So it is now 3rd down and 10 for Keiser at the Mustang 42-yard line. They'll line up with 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Beasley out of the gun as he takes the bell high snap, rolls out to his left, looking to throw up the seam, and the catch is made by Arnold at the line to gain. He's brought down short of it at the 33. Gain of 9. It's 4th down and 1.
Yeah, we've given them all kinds of credit for field presence when they get to the sticks, so you got to be a little critical when they don't, and he's got to have a little bit more awareness of where the first down marker is there.
So 4th and 1 on the Mustang 33. Out of the gun is Beasley. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Tries a hard count. Now the snap, handoff. Meisinger up the middle. He's got a first. Falls forward across the 32 to the 31. That's 2 yards, and the Seahawks will move the chains and have a first down. That is another tough pill to swallow for this Mustang defense. These big downs that they usually pride themselves on, 3rd and 5, 4th and 1, things like that, they haven't been able to stop the Seahawks today, Bob.
Yeah, that's because Keiser has a really good downhill running game, and that's something that Morningside hasn't faced really too much this year. And
10:50 left in the third, 21-10 Morningside on the People's Bank scoreboard. We've got a whistle, stops play.
Probably going to reset the play clock.
Yeah, the play clock ran down to 0. I think it might have gotten going a little too soon. And they're going to put 20 seconds on the play clock? 40. No, they're going to reset it to 40.
If you're Keiser, let that thing run down.
Yeah, right. No, there we go. 25 seconds.
Yeah, they should never
absolutely.
reset it at 40.
No, absolutely. So they get it going now. 1st and 10 for the Seahawks of the Mustang 31. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Play action, and Beasley keeps her on the left side across the 30 to the 30 and no further. Gain of a yard. 2nd down and 9 upcoming.
Yeah, Morningside defended that really well, but look, he still fell forward for a yard gain. I mean, that's just what a big body can do for you right there in that situation.
All kinds of momentum that he has.
Yep.
I mean,
that's 240 pounds running at you downhill.
Right.
I mean, that's
10:18 to go in the third. 21-10 Morningside. Seahawks trying to cut it to as little as 4 if they can get in for 7 here. 2nd and 9. Play action. Beasley throws toward the left sideline, and Isaac Pingle leapt up midway through the route and batted it down, looking for Miles Henderson. It'll be 3rd down and 9 upcoming.
Look at, here comes a line change, figuratively and literally. The entire new defensive line is coming in from Morningside. And I'm assuming this is their number 1 line because you got Schultz and Van Segern at the defensive ends.
Colbaum's out there as well. I think it's Gage Hakey in the middle as well. Yeah, this is who they want out there. On 3rd down and 9 for the Mustang 30. 2 receivers either side of Beasley in the gun. Low snap, Beasley, 3-step drop, steps up in the pocket, throws a screen right side. Meisinger can't get past the first man. Jalen Portis makes a great open field tackle at the 31-yard line. They lose a yard. It's 4th and 10.
There's a correlation between good defenses and bad defenses, and the correlation is, can you tackle in open space? And
Morningside can.
Right. And if he doesn't make that tackle there, he might get the first down.
Oh, absolutely. Instead, Keiser's going to settle for 3, it looks like. This will be a 48-yard field goal. That'll match the longest Chance Gagnon has made this season. He missed one from 53, made one from 39 today. Snap in the spot, left-footed kick, has the leg, and it is good. He buries a 48-yard field goal and makes it a one-possession game. Morningside 21, Keiser 13 with 9:19 to go in quarter number 3 on our People's Bank scoreboard. Take a 30-second break. We'll come back with more Mustang football after this on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. And we welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City, broadcasting to you from the Irving and Carolyn Jensen press box. Alongside Bob Goodvin, Daniel Versteg with you. 9:19 remains in quarter number 3. Top-ranked Morningside holding on to a 21-13 lead over Keiser on the People's Bank scoreboard. Chance Gagnon knocks through a 48-yard field goal, matches his season-long made field goal. He attempted one from 53 that he missed. That's the longest he's attempted on the year. Now he's 2 for 3 on field goals today with another made from 39 yards out. It's an 8-point ball game, 9:19 in the third, and Gagnon sends a high left-footed end-over-end boot. That one sails back on Schweigert. He fields it over the shoulder at the 8-yard line, takes it out to the right seam to the 15. He gets tripped up at the 15-yard line. Caleb Schweigert had to go back to field that kick, and by the time he did, his momentum took it backwards. He'll only get to the 15, and the Morningside will start there.
You know, if you look at all the changes in the game of football over the years, and there's been a ton of them, trust me, I think one of the changes you really see is the kicking game and the evolution of it. I mean, think back 10 years ago. Would we have watched a 48-yard field goal in an NAIA football game? No, that's
Not
exactly
a chance.
right.
2 receivers either side of Joe Dolenchek in the cut as the Mustangs had their first offensive possession of the third quarter. Play action. Dolenchek throws a short route left side. It wobbled, but it is caught by Josh Simmons, and he gets a first down. Up the left numbers across the 25 to the 28. He got 13. It's a first down for the Mustangs.
Yeah, it wobbled all right. I mean, if you're over a lake right now, somebody would be shooting that thing because it looked like a duck.
That absolutely was a duck. First and 10 of the 28-yard line, Morningside. And that was only about a 5-yard route as well, so that's not a good look here for Joe to start the contest, or start the second half, I should say. Out of the pistol, Dolenchek hands off around the right side. KJ Williams sheds a tackle in the backfield, gets across the 30 to the 32, picks up 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
But again, there you see him making the first guy miss. Somebody had him tackled for no gain, and he broke the tackle, whether it was an arm tackle or not, but he broke it and was able to pick up 4 yards.
8:30 to go in quarter number 3. 21-13. Morningside leads Keiser on the People's Bank scoreboard. The Mustangs have not scored since 3 minutes and 53 seconds left in the first quarter. On 2nd and 6 from the 32. Dolenchek, 3 receivers left, 1 right. Out of the gun. KJ Williams off his left hip. Dolenchek, the bell high snap. A short drop out of the play action fake, and the Seahawks brought a blitz. And Dolenchek goes down back at the 25. Sack made by Cameron Allen, the nose tackle.
And he's hurt, I think.
He lost 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 13. Here comes Lennox Brown. Joe Dolenchek being taken off of the field.
I wonder if he didn't get poked in the eye.
I think he did, yeah. He's reaching up by his face.
Or shoulder. I mean,
something like that. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that is not a good sign. Joe Dolenchek, they took his helmet off. And
now watch number 24 and see where he's at. Now they're going to play man. They're playing cover 1. But they're going to make Lennox Brown beat you throwing the ball.
3rd and 13 from the 25. Joe Dolenchek on the bench. Brown drops back to throw. Rolls out to his right. Can he get to the corner? He does. To the right numbers to the 30. He doesn't have enough for a first. Lennox Brown run out of bounds at the 30-yard line. He picks up 5. It'll be 4th and 8, and the Mustangs will punt the football to Keiser up by 8.
Now, this is not being critical of Lennox Brown, but he wasn't quiet in the pocket right there. He didn't have to get flushed out of there, and I mean, it's only his 13th or 14th snap at quarterback, and it's understandable. But
right.
I mean, he flushed himself when he really didn't need to.
Yep, he had happy feet right out of the
right.
get-go.
Yep.
So the punt here on 4th down and 7. Justin McElligott lined up to boot it away. 3-man shield lined up in front of him. Snap to McElligott. Gets the high right footed. That one doesn't have a spiral. It bounces to the 40. Takes a great Mustang roll up the left numbers to the 25 and goes out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Justin McElligott, solid kick. Tries to flip the field a little bit. Gets the Keiser Seahawks to start at their own 25-yard line with 6:31 left in the third. 21-13 Morningside on the People's Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, Keiser had the return on all the way there. You could tell because they didn't rush the punter at all, and they were just trying to tie up the blockers on line of scrimmage. And fortunately, the ball didn't get to the return guy, or else they would have had a return set up.
Mm-hmm. So 1st and 10 here for Keiser at the 25-yard line. They can tie the contest with this possession. They need 8 points to do so. Touchdown plus 2. But it is reachable. It is tieable on this possession. 1st and 10 of the 25. It's Bryce Veasley in the gun, the backup for Shea Spencer, who hurt himself earlier in the contest. Veasley hands it off up the middle. Jaden Meisinger dances his way through the defensive line and picks up 4 to the 29. That'll bring up 2nd and 6. We just have not seen a offense anywhere methodically pick Morningside apart like this Keiser offense is doing today.
Well, people have always said the way to beat Morningside is keep their offense off the field.
Mm-hmm.
And, Morningside's got a 8-point lead, but they have not been on the field very much since the first quarter.
No, they have not. 2nd and 6 for the 29. Veasley throws toward the right sideline. Easy catch, getting out of bounds. Miles Henderson to the 36. He's got a 1st down, picking up 7, and the Seahawks move the chains.
Again, just good field awareness. I mean, he picks up the 1st down by half a yard. I mean, that's and then you give the receiver a little bit of freedom there to run a little deeper route if he has to get to the sticks, even though it horses with the timing of the throw.
Right. 5:37 and counting left in the third. 21-13 Morningside on the People's Bank scoreboard. Veasley out of the pistol, tight end right, 2 receivers left. Takes a snap, turns left, gives to Meisinger, dances his way through the line, he breaks free across the 40, 45, 50. He's in the open field of the 35, 30. Right seam, and he gets tripped up by the turf monster across the 30 to the 28-yard line. That is 36 yards for Jaden Meisinger, and the Seahawks with a 1st down to the Mustang 28.
Yeah, number 10, the receiver for Keiser, needed to block. If he blocks the corner, I know he fell down by the turf monster, but he fell down because he saw the corner coming, and he tripped up. If 10 blocks the corner, that's a touchdown.
5 minutes left of the third. Keiser down 8, now in Mustang territory at the 28. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Snap, play action. Veasley passes over the middle and threw it too tall of Miles Henderson. No flag, incomplete. Dijon Walls the coverage. It's 2nd and 10. Keiser fans, Keiser sideline wanted a penalty. They won't get one. There was contact. I don't know. I don't know about that one. 2nd and 10 here for the Seahawks at the 28. 4:53 left in the third. Morningside 21, Keiser 13 in the NAIA FCS quarterfinal round here on the People's Bank scoreboard. 2nd and 10. Veasley out of the pistol. Takes the snap. Screen pass left side. It is caught by Seth Roll. He gets the block for a couple of yards across the 25 to the 24. He got 4. It'll be 3rd and 6 for Keiser.
Yeah, again, at that time they stacked the receivers to the wide side of the field, and they threw what we call a now screen in that situation, but basically same play as the hash screen. But you got to block the corner, and right now the Morningside corners, they ran that play 4 times, and the Morningside corners have taken 3 of them away. So
3rd down and 6 from the Mustang 24. The Mustang fans would love for the defense to force at least 3 points on this drive. 2 receivers either side. Out of the gun is Veasley. Takes the bell high snap, short drop, passes right sideline, throws wide. He was either too far in front of Jalen Arnold or too far behind Miles Henderson. It's an incomplete pass. Here comes the field goal unit once again.
Yeah, something's wrong with that route. The 2 guys are on top of one another, and they're just too close, and that's why you can't tell who they're throwing to. And I mean, the number 2 speed out is about 3 yards away from the number 1 out, and something's wrong there.
So Keiser will settle for a 41-yard field goal off the left hash, 4:09 in the third. Chance Gagnon 2 for 3, made one from 39, made from 48, missed from 53. Snap spot, left-footed Gagnon kick from 41 yards out, has plenty of leg, and it is good. Our score with 4:03 left in the third quarter. Top-ranked Morningside 21, 12th-ranked Keiser 16. Here on the People's Bank scoreboard. We'll take a 30-second break, and the Mustangs will get the football when we come back here on Fox Sports Radio 620, KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back here to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City on the campus of Morningside University. The Seahawks, with a pair of field goals from Chance Gagnon here in quarter number 3, have cut our deficit to 5. Morningside 21, Keiser 16 on the People's Bank scoreboard. 4:03 left in quarter number 3. Alongside Bob Goodvin, Daniel Versteeg with you. Gagnon now ready to boot this kick away from his own 35. He sends a high left-footed short pooch kick. Camping under it for a fair catch is Jack Sievert. And he set his feet at about the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. They'll set him at the 27. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. And Bob, points are a must on this drive with the Seahawks getting close.
And no Joe Dolenchek.
And no Joe Dolenchek, absolutely. It's Lennox Brown who has taken over and will continue to be out on the field. Joe Dolenchek is standing at about the 25-yard line. He's heading over to Coach Ryan and making sure he's ready to go when need be. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Lennox Brown at the 27-yard line. Lines up by himself in the gun. He takes the snap. Looks to throw. Now keeps right side. He didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Brought down back at the 25. He loses 2. It'll be 2nd and 12.
Yeah, we've been saying since Moby Dick was a minnow, and if you don't get that analogy, that means a long time ago, that you're not going to beat Morningside by kicking field goals. And,
nope.
and that's the good news right now.
Right.
But I don't think Morningside's going to be able to win the game unless Lennox Brown, if he stays in, can hit a few passes.
Yep.
He's going to have some success throwing the ball. Look at the box right now.
He only threw one pass last week. It was incomplete. 2nd and 12. Brown drops to throw. He throws left sideline. He's completed one to Johnson, who breaks a tackle. 35-40. Stays in bounds. He stepped out of bounds across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Lennox Brown has his first completed collegiate pass. It goes for 18 and a Mustang first down.
And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, that's a big play in this game. They got a first down. They're keeping their defense off the field for a little bit longer. And, that's just that fade speed out to the 1 and 2 receivers. And that's a good throw by Lennox Brown.
3:10 left in the third. 21-16. Morningside leads Keiser on the People's Bank scoreboard. 3 receivers line up right, 2 left. It's an empty look for Lennox Brown. The Seahawks walk 5 into the box. Motion Tui Fua to the right side of the line of scrimmage as a tight end. Brown takes the snap, drops, now keeps up the middle. He sheds the first tackle, couldn't shed the next 2. He's brought down for a loss of the 42. That's going to set up 2nd and 11.
I think what you're seeing right now, without the threat of the pass, is how fast and athletic Keiser's defense is.
Yes.
I mean, they're playing the run the whole way, and that allows them to be athletic and use their speed a little bit.
2nd and 11 from the 42. 2:20 left in the third. 21-16 Morningside of the People's Bank scoreboard. Here's Lennox Brown on the gun. KJ Williams off his right hip. Fakes the give to KJ. Drops to throw. Rolls right. Now cuts up the middle of the field. He's got some positive yardage across the 45. Across midfield. Tackled forward to the Keiser 48-yard line. He made enough plays with his feet. He's short of the line to gain. That'll be 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, that's a heck of a run. You're right, but it's kind of an unnecessary run. I mean, he's not real comfortable in the pocket right now, and again, that's understandably so. I mean,
right.
He's only been playing quarterback for 2 weeks since he got to college. So
yep. Mustang fans give the referees a little bit of a hard time. They wanted the extra yard on the spot. Instead, it's 3rd and 1. Brown on the gun, drops to throw, left seam. It is caught by Simmons. He bounces off a defender and gets dragged down out of bounds across the 40. There's a late hit out of bounds. The Keiser corner, Lewis Lubin hit Josh Simmons late. Across the 40, this will add 15 more yards to the end of the play.
Yeah, that's just a foolish play. I mean, you have him out of bounds, the play's over. You don't need to do that.
Nope. So 15 yards, personal foul, dead ball penalty. And the Mustangs, after getting out of bounds at the 37, maybe the 40, they'll get all the way up to the 25-yard line and have a first down with 1:35 in the third, up by 5. Morningside is poised for points here. Lennox Brown on the gun, 2 receivers left, a couple of tight ends right. Motions Austin Johnson in the backfield, gives it to Austin. He's looking to throw back to Brown, wide open to the 15, left numbers 10, jukes a man to the 5, he's into the end zone. It's a Mustang touchdown. Austin Johnson took the handoff. He threw back to Brown, who gets into the end zone. And Morningside leads 27-16 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
Well, if you're not able to watch the game, it's a play similar to how Philadelphia scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl, a play they call Philly Special. It ain't exactly the same thing, but it's something similar. And, nobody accounts for the quarterback in that situation.
The quarterback who was once, a couple of weeks ago, a wide receiver. Chase Carter for the point after. Drills it through the uprights and good. 28-16 Morningside with 1:22 left in the third quarter. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll come back with more Mustang football after this on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS Sioux City. And we welcome you back here to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City alongside Bob Goodvin, Daniel Versteeg with you. Morningside is back on the scoreboard. It's been a while. It's been over 30 minutes, but they get on the board. 28-16 on the People's Bank scoreboard. You're hearing this right. 25-yard touchdown pass from Austin Johnson to Lennox Brown. Yes, it was Johnson who threw the pass. He took the handoff, ran right, threw back to Lennox Brown, who was running around the left side. He was unaccounted for, and the Mustangs are back up by 2 scores, 28-16 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Chase Carter boots this one, drills it into the end zone for a touchback. Keiser will start at their own 25-yard line. And, Bob, that last drive for Morningside, they were able to finally throw the ball. They were able to move the ball through the pass and made themselves look a lot more dangerous.
Well, we said that they're going to have to complete some passes to win the game. And on that drive, they were 3 for 3. Now, one of them was by a receiver to the quarterback, which is not exactly a normal thing.
Normal pass play.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But, hey, it's a completed pass.
Yep, that's
we'll
right.
Take it.
Look in the book. It's called a touchdown pass.
Exactly. It's a touchdown pass. Doesn't matter who threw it. But Keiser's going to take over with the football. Down by a dozen. 1:22 in the third. They need a touchdown on this drive to stay in the ballgame. Here is Feasley. 2 receivers either side of the gun. He drops short, pump fakes, rolls right, rolls back left, lobs up toward the right sideline. Brody Nelson dives for the football at the 36. Can't come up with it. Be incomplete. He was looking for Jalen Arnold. 2nd and 10.
Well, did you see who hit the quarterback's arm? It was Weston Schultz.
Yep.
And, to his credit, early on, he's using the speed rush to his advantage, and then the tackle for Keiser figured out, let him take his momentum and take himself out of the play. And that time, he just bull rushed the tackle. He just pushed him right back into the quarterback.
So 2nd and 10 for the Seahawks from their own 25-yard line. 2 receivers either side. Dropping a throw. Easily throws left sideline. Caught at the 33. And getting out of bounds is Michael Robinson for 8 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 2 upcoming. Or actually 3rd and 3, I beg your pardon.
Maybe 4. Yep, yeah, 3, you're right.
It's just 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a long 3.
That's a very long 3.
Yep.
Yeah, that's outside the 32. It looked like he made the catch at the 33, but they're going to say his own momentum moved him back that extra yard. So 3rd and a long 3 for the Seahawks from their own 32. Can they stay on the field with 43 seconds left of the 3rd? 2 receivers right, 1 left. They'll motion the back as a receiver right side. Beasley keeps up the middle. He's fighting his way forward. They push the pile across the 35. He's got a first. Across the 36 to the 37. He got 5 hard-earned yards for a Keiser first down.
Well, that's what 220 pounds does for you, and then you got another 1,000 pounds pushing you from behind. And But his original 220 pounds kept him on his feet. I mean, that's...
Keiser has now snapped the ball on 20 third downs today. They are 9 for 20 on them. 1st and 10 from the 37. 2 receivers either side. They motion Arnold to the slot. Play action. Beasley dropping a throw. Takes a shot deep. Middle of the field into single coverage. Coming back to the football. Miles Henderson wins the jump ball. Across the 25 to the 23. It's a big gain, and that should probably take us into the quarter break. What a catch by Henderson. He beat John Andreessen in single coverage. And now Keiser with 1st and 10 of the 23. Clock will run out here in the 3rd quarter. Heading to quarter number 4. It is top-ranked Morningside 28, 12th-ranked Keiser 16, but the Seahawks are driving. They're just outside the red zone to start quarter number 4. We'll be back to start the 4th in 1 minute on Fox Sports Radio 620, KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City alongside Bob Goodvin, Daniel Versteg. Our score starting quarter number 4, top-ranked Morningside 28, Keiser 16 on the People's Bank scoreboard. And after a 40-yard reception by Miles Henderson, we'll start the 4th with a handoff. Meisinger up the middle across the 10 to the 5, and he gets into the end zone on the first play of the 4th quarter. Jaden Meisinger right up the middle gets 23 yards and 6 points. We're back to a one-score game, 28-22 Morningside on the People's Bank scoreboard.
That was all the formation right there. They came out in their 2-by-2 set, but they stacked both sides. And by stacking it, that takes some safeties, and they got to widen to the stack a little bit. And what have we talked about all game? Them safeties being on the line of scrimmage. And with that formation, they can't do that.
Point after try upcoming here for Chance Gagnon. Off the hold of DeSisto, and the left-footed boot is through the uprights and good. So we'll start the 4th with a one-score game once again, 28-23, Morningside, 14:54 left in regulation. Don't go anywhere. We're back in 30 seconds with more Mustang football on Fox Sports Radio 620, KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back here to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City. Alongside Bob Goodvin, I'm Daniel Versteg. Our score as we now start the 4th quarter, 14:54 left in the 4th. Top-ranked Morningside 28, 12th-ranked Keiser 23 on the People's Bank scoreboard. A 23-yard touchdown run for Jaden Meisinger on the first play of the 4th quarter has made it a 5-point contest once again. Seahawks will kick things off with Chance Gagnon. Back to return, Michael Payne and Caleb Schwager. They're both in between the 10 and the 15-yard line. Gagnon, high left-footed, pooch kick, right numbers. It's fielded falling backwards to the 25-yard line and fielding that catch on or kick on the fair catch is the junior linebacker Cooper King. And Morningside will start 1st and 10 from about their own 28-yard line.
You know, a lot of people think adjustments in a football game are made at halftime, but they're really made throughout the game. And one of the adjustments that Keiser's done a good job of, think back to the two kickoffs to start the game.
Right.
Morningside ran them both back beyond their own 50-yard line, and since then they've done a good job of just pushing it down here to the 25, 30-yard line. And
right.
That's an adjustment that's, tip your hat to Keiser.
I mean, you think of those 2 kickoffs, they resulted in 14 points. Morningside scored 14 cents. Dalenchek's back of the game on 1st and 10. Throws to Tuifua. Sidesteps a defender across the 30, but he got tripped up by him across the 30 to the 35. Gain of 7 for Tuifua. It's 2nd and 3.
And there's that 5 to 10-yard intermediate throw that he's having no trouble throwing, making that pass.
Nope. And hitting a guy like Sione Tuifua is no problem either. 2nd and 3 for the 35. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Joe Dalenchek lining up in the gun with KJ Williams off his right hip. Dalenchek the snap, play action, short drop, passes over the middle. It's juggled, incomplete. That one hit the hands of Josh Simmons, but great coverage from the backside by Jay Stewart, forcing the issue. It's 3rd and 3.
The right corner for Keiser right now is having a little cramp issues, so we'll see if they notice that and see if they pick on him a little bit.
That's Lewis Lubin III, who got whistled for that personal foul penalty that got the Mustangs to the 25, got them 6 to end the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 3 from the 35. 2 receivers left, 1 out wide to the right, and Zach Norton. Dalenchek now motions Zach Norton closer, drops to throw, steps to the pocket, throws a short route to Norton. It is incomplete. It was batted away from behind by Kensley Johnson. Mustangs have a 4th and 3. They go 3 and out to start the 4th quarter.
And that's a play Morningside's ran before this year and ran successfully. They just bring the receiver in motion and make it look like a shallow cross route, but then he stops and comes back out, which most people would call that a whip route. And the corner saw it all the way, and that's probably just good film preparation right there.
So 4th and 3 from the 35-yard line. Justin McElligott to boot it away. Couple of return men lined up deep. Snap to McElligott. Right-footed. Spiraling kick. This is a good one. Back to the 27-yard line. It's Wendell Fullord who takes the return. Up the left seam to the 30. Sidesteps a man. Angles right side to the 35. To the numbers. He's brought down to the 38-yard line. He was brought down high. They did not get him at the face mask, thankfully. Wendell Fullord, the all-conference kick returner, picks up a good gain to the 38. And Keiser will start at the 38-yard line. And now Fullord is down on the play. Couple of Keiser players are down. Wendell Fullord, slow to get up. He's a defensive player, so he won't be in offensively anyway. There's another Keiser player down as well. Looks like it was
number 1.
Number 1 is Fullord. He's still down.
Number 6.
Yeah, it's either Jalen Willis maybe. Oh man, that is not a good sight for the Seahawks. Their kick returners are huge. Wendell Fullord also huge on defense.
I actually think they're both going to be okay, though.
Yeah. It might just be a quick think about it and get back to it. 1st and 10 for the Seahawks at the 38-yard line. It's a 28-23 Mustang lead with 13:56 left in regulation in the NAIA Football Championship Series quarterfinals. Keiser with a touchdown will take the lead. Here is Bryce Veasley lining up in the pistol. 2 receivers left. 1 receiver right. Tight end right side of the formation as well. Veasley takes the helmet high snap. Handoff left side. Meisinger dances way up the middle and gets 2 yards to the 40. It's going to set up 2nd down and 8. 2nd and 8 here for the Seahawks. 13:43 to play in regulation. 28-23. Morningside on top of Keiser here on the People's Bank scoreboard. And the Seahawks have the football down by 5 in the quarterfinal round. Keiser made the semifinals in the spring of 2021. They were the team that lost to Lindsey Wilson to send the Blue Raiders to the national championship game. 2nd and 8 from the 40. 2 receivers left. Tight end motions and Jalen Arnold to the left side. Veasley the belt high snap. Gives up the middle. Meisinger stood up for a loss. They got him down for a loss back at the 39-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd down and a short 9 yards to go. That is going to be a very favorable spot for the Seahawks.
Yes, it is.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. I didn't think he got back to the 39, let alone the 40. But here we go. It's 3rd down and 8, they'll say, with 12:47 to go in regulation. Morningside 28, Keiser 23. Seahawks taking a lot of time getting set for this play. Play clock's down to 7 seconds. Beasley in the gun, 2 receivers either side. Play clock at 3. He takes the snap, gives up the middle. Meisinger on 3rd and 8, trying to dance his way through the line. He picks up 3 yards, marked down to the 43. That'll set up 4th and 5, and Keiser brings out the punt unit. The Mustangs force them to go 3 and out on this drive.
That's a pretty conservative call right there.
Very.
I mean, it's 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9, whatever, and I mean, it shows you that they got confidence in their defense, which is something we don't normally see in a Morningside game.
No, we don't. I'm flabbergasted by that call, actually. I thought that was throw all the way. Caleb Schwager goes back at his own 20-yard line. Chance Gagnon to boot it away on 4th down and 5 from the 43. Gagnon takes the snap, runs left, gets the kick away. It's a line drive, end-over-end kick. Schwager lets it bounce to the 20. It rolls down to the 5 and gets into the end zone for a touchback. Oh, that was a gutsy read by Caleb Schwager, but he'll take it, and Morningside will get the football at their own 20-yard line.
And that's the benefit of a rugby-style kicker right there. I mean, by rolling out and kicking, you're probably going to get a ball into the boundary and probably going to roll if it hits the ground.
11:41 left in regulation. Top-ranked Morningside leads 12th-ranked Keiser, 28-23 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Joe Dolenchek back out there offensively after Lennox Brown had a drive that resulted in 7 points. Joe Dolenchek hasn't had a scoring drive since quarter number 1. Receiver on either side. They motion Zach Norton to the left side. Takes a snap, gives to K.J. Williams around the right side. He sheds a tackle up the right numbers to the 23. He's brought down to the 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 4. It's 2nd and 6.
You know, in today's football world, a 4-yard gain is seen as a victory by both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the offense says,
Right.
hey, that's a good play for us. And the defense is saying, hey, it's a good play for us, too.
Oh, man. It's just funny, the changes in the
Yep.
game.
Mm-hmm.
Here is Morningside now is 2nd and 6. Yeah, this is kind of what they want, a nice solid gain. From the 24, 2 receivers left, 1 right. The tight end on the right side of the formation. Sione Tuifua is the slot receiver on the left side. Dolenchek looking over to the sideline. Coach Ryan needs to burn a timeout. With 11 minutes left in regulation, 28-23, Morningside on top. Coach Ryan and the Mustangs will use their first of 3 timeouts. We'll take a timeout as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds with more Mustang football on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back here to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City alongside Bob Goodman, Daniel Versteeg with you. 11 minutes remain in regulation in the NAIA Football Championship Series quarterfinal. Top-ranked Morningside leads 12th-ranked Keiser 28-23 on the People's Bank scoreboard. 2 receivers right, 1 left of Joe Dolenchek in the gun on 2nd and 6 out of the Mustang timeout. Play action fake pass over the middle to Austin Johnson was short. It didn't get to him, but he got interfered with. And Morningside will get a first down on the penalty.
Yeah, that's a bad play by the safety because there's no way he's going to catch the football.
It was the same like Boyd did to the tight end earlier in the game. Yeah, he penalized him when he didn't need to with the throw not getting there. So a 15-yard pass interference penalty, or maybe 10 yards for a hold.
That's what it looks like.
It'll be a pass interference. So it'll be placed there at the spot at the 35.
Spot foul, that's right.
Yep. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. So they'll pick up 9 yards on that penalty. And a fresh set of downs, the more important part. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Out of the gun is Joe Dolencheck. Back off his left hip is Bryson Freeberg. Dolencheck, the helmet high snap. Pump fake short. He takes a shot over the middle. It's a wobbler. Back to the football. That one falls incomplete.
Now that should have been
That should have been a pass interference. Austin Johnson was grabbed.
Him, yes.
It was the corner, Kensley Johnson, who grabbed Johnson up around the left shoulder, pulled him backwards. Ball falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. That was more pass interference than the other one was.
I think so, too.
Absolutely, but no flag is thrown. 2nd and 10 upcoming.
But again, you saw the safety bite up for whatever reason. There was no reason for the safety to bite, but Dolencheck just underthrew him again. And, that deep throw he's struggling with.
Yes, 10:49 to go in the game, 28-23 Morningside. Dolencheck, 2 receivers left, play action, throws quickly left side, and it got batted up in the air by Wendell Fallord at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. They brought the safety on the blitz again. He batted the pass down. It's 3rd and 10.
It's almost comical how bad Tuafua was holding the defensive end. It was so bad.
Yeah, well, you give and take penalties, I guess.
That's how tight ends pass block right there.
That's right. That's how some receivers pass block as well. Here's 3rd and 10 from the 35. Mustangs got to get the 45 for a first down. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Tight end left side of the line of scrimmage. Zach Norton motions left to right. Dolencheck out of the gun, takes a 3-step drop, passes right sideline. Norton makes the catch at the 45. Did he stay in bounds long enough? He did not.
No.
He's out of the 44, short of the line to gain. It'll be 4th and 1.
Yeah, they brought Norton in motion, and that time the safety ran with him, so you knew it was man coverage, and they just tried to hit the deep out, and Norton just didn't quite get to the sticks.
And because he didn't get to the sticks, the Mustangs are punting the football on 4th and 1 of the 44. 10:20 remains in the contest. It remains a 5-point Mustang lead, 28-23 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Justin McElligott to boot it away.
If you got a fake in your repertoire, here's the time, maybe.
4th and 1. He gets it off. A kick toward the right sideline. Bounce at the 20. Up the sideline. Gets out of bounds inside the 20. Justin McElligott pins one inside the 20 for the 12th time this season. Keiser will start with at their own 18-yard line with a 5-point deficit staring at them from the scoreboard. 10:06 remains in the contest, and it is a 28-23 Mustang lead on the People's Bank scoreboard. Keiser with the football. They'll start at their own 18-yard line. So here come the Seahawks. Shea Spencer is back in at quarterback for the Seahawks.
Wow.
He got hurt to start the second quarter. Bryce Beasley has led them all the way through, and now Shea Spencer is back out there for Keiser. Out of the pistol, receiver on either side. Spencer gives left side. Meisinger pitches back. Michael Robinson. It's a reverse right side. He's trying to beat Jalen Portis. He doesn't do it. He's brought down for a loss of the 16. Loss of 2. It'll be 2nd down and a dozen.
Is that Andreessen right here?
Yes.
They wanted to throw the ball to number 10, I guarantee you, and Andreessen stayed on him. I mean, he didn't come off on the reverse look, and that play's made by Andreessen.
And Spencer is now out of the contest. Bryce Beasley back in. Maybe they just liked him running that play. He's probably run it more with that first unit.
Well, I'm sure he was an option in the pass game, too.
Sure.
I mean,
2nd and a dozen from the 16. Bryce Beasley back in at quarterback for the Seahawks. 2 receivers left. 1 right. Tight end right side. They motion the tight end to the left side now. Drop it a throw. Beasley passes quick to Jalen Arnold. He makes the catch across the 20. Falls forward for more yardage to the 24. That's a gain of 8. It's 3rd and 4 for the Seahawks.
No, that's a really good play. They brought him in motion, got him into the backfield, and then ran him on a little stick route and picked up 8 yards on 2nd and 12. And then that's such a smart play to make 3rd down more manageable.
Yeah, it's now a much better looking 3rd and 4. 28-23 Morningside. 8:48 remains in regulation on the People's Bank scoreboard. Seahawks have the ball at their own 24-yard line. They've been on 3rd down a lot. Play clock's under 10 seconds. They're running a lot of time off. 3rd and 4 from the 24. Beasley out of the gun. The chest high snap. The Mustangs bring a blitz. They pass over the middle. Arnold makes the catch and sheds a tackle. Left seam 40, 45, 50. Deep into Mustang territory 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Keiser. Jalen Arnold with a 76-yard touchdown reception. He broke the tackle at the 45 and ran the rest of the way in for 6. And with 8:21 left in regulation, Keiser leads 29-28 on the People's Bank scoreboard.
Was it Portis that he broke the tackle of?
It was either Portis or Boyd. I didn't see. Oh, man, what a big play in this ball game.
Just a big body. I mean, are you going to go for 2 here?
Looks like they are. Shea Spencer, I saw Bryce Veasley was shaken up after the play. And now they're going to call a timeout ahead of the 2-point try, or the point after, I should say, whatever it's 1 or 2. 8:21 remains of the ball game. Keiser now leads Morningside in the NAIA Football Championship Series 29-28. What do you think? You have, obviously the view, you don't chase points. Is this chasing points?
No? because you're down to if you get 2 more possessions in the game, that's a lot right now.
Right.
And a 2-point play makes field goal tie the score.
Sure.
You got a 3-point lead, whereas if you kick the extra point, you only got a 2-point lead, and
field goal wins it.
Right. And in reality, that 1 point doesn't do a whole lot for you, considering the fact you only probably got 2 possessions left in the game.
Sure. If you even have
maybe
2
one.
possessions.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Heck, we've seen a 7-minute 40 possession. You might not get another possession in this game, all things considered. With the way Morningside's moving the football, I think they will get at least 1 more. But let's see what they got for us here. They've got the offense on the field. They're going to go for 2 out of the Keiser timeout. So now each coach has 2 timeouts remaining with 8:21 left in the game.
Starting quarterback's back in.
He
now.
is. Shea Spencer. Watch out for some full trickery here. 2 receivers right. They motion a receiver to the left side to put 2 now on the left side. Spencer in the gun. Belt high snap. Runs right. He's trying to throw to the tight end. Arnold throws it up for grabs. It's incomplete. 2-point tries, no good. And our score with 8:21 left in regulation. 12th ranked Keiser leads top ranked Morningside 29-28 on the People's Bank scoreboard. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Morningside gets a chance to respond when we come back on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS Sioux City. We welcome you back here to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City alongside Bob Goodvin, Daniel Versteg with you. After Morningside scored 21 of the first 24 points in this ball game, they find themselves on the bad end of a 26-7 outburst since. Keiser leads Morningside 29-28, 8:21 left to play in regulation. A 76-yard touchdown reception for Jalen Arnold, the longest play of the season from scrimmage for the Seahawks. And now Chance Gagnon kicks this one into the end zone for a touchback. Morningside will start at their own 25-yard line. All right, down by a point. What's coming here, Bob? What do you think?
Well, I just run your offense. There's plenty of time. You don't need to panic. Just run your offense. But, the problem is your offense right now doesn't include anything vertically in the passing game, and that's because of Dolanchek's fingers. Or finger, I should say.
Right. Well, the Mustangs line up here. Joe Dolanchek and the Mustangs start 1st and 10 from their own 25. They line up on the left hash mark. 8:21 in regulation. Keiser 29, Morningside 26. 2 receivers either side of Dolanchek in the gun. Tries to get them to jump, drops to throw, passes left sideline, caught by Josh Simmons, 30. Makes the first man miss and gets some extra yardage across the 33. Right at the 33. Pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
It's really amazing how well he can throw that 5 to 15-yard pass, but he struggles with anything quick and anything deep.
2nd down and 2 from the 33. 3 receivers right. Dolanchek, quick route, right seam, caught by Simmons. 1st down across the 37. He got to the 38. It's a pickup of 5. Morningside moves the chains.
You just don't see the spin of the ball with him. Not consistently. And
it looks like he's grabbing it and just kind of like chucking it up. It's just there's nothing to it.
You can tell that he just can't get the ball to spin off his index finger.
1st and 10 of the 38. Dolanchek hands up the middle. KJ Williams dances over a defender, gets 2 yards, rolled down a forward progress at the 40. That'll bring up 2nd and 8. 7:33 left in the ball game. Keiser 29, Morningside 28 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Here in the NAIA Football Championship Series quarterfinal round, Keiser is playing in their 9th road game of this 12-game season. They were the only ones to win on the road last week. Looking to do that again this week. 2nd down and 8 at the 40. 2 receivers line up right following the motion of Josh Simmons. 1 receiver left. Tight end left side of the formation. Here's Joe Dolanchek of the gun. Williams off his right hip. Takes the belt high snap. The Seahawks rush 6. Dolanchek gets hit as he throws right sideline. Simmons came back to the football. Couldn't get it. There's a flag thrown on the play as well. Think they're going to get Keiser for some defensive pass interference. And if they do, Morningside will get a 1st down.
I wonder if they're going to have a conversation as to whether the ball was tipped.
Right, that's the other question. Keiser, I think the defensive coordinator over there, and Robbie Owens wanted to say the same thing.
See, I don't think the ball was tipped because the ball was somewhat of a tight spiral.
It had the best spiral all night,
right.
all day. See what the penalty is, if it is one. Our white hat will give us the call. It's 2 fouls. Oh. They will still get a face mask on defense. In case you couldn't hear it, they negated the pass interference penalty due to the ball actually being tipped, but they still got Keiser for a 15-yard face mask. That's going to put Morningside all the way up to the Keiser 45-yard line and have a 1st down.
The interference the face mask had to be on the receiver because there was no flag thrown in the backfield.
No, you're right.
And can you have interference and face mask on the same play on the same guy?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Apparently, yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, I've never seen it before. 1st and 10 of the Keiser 45. 4 receiver look. Dolanchek drops the throw. The Seahawks bring the house again. He throws over the middle. Johnson's wide open, but Dolanchek left it up short. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10. Boy, Bob, they are just bringing the house against Joe.
Yeah, they brought the inside linebacker there, the Mike linebacker, and they didn't pick him up. And Dolanchek underthrew his receiver, but he underthrew it because he couldn't step into his throw there, and he got hit right square in the ribs.
Yeah, he got hit hard. 6:52 left in the game. 29-28, Keiser on top. Morningside has the football. 2nd and 10 from the Seahawk 45. Seahawks have 6 in the box, lined up to blitz. Dolanchek is by himself. He motions Tuifua to the left side as a tight end. Seahawks only rush 4. Dolanchek lobs up a jump ball right sideline. Austin Johnson can't bring it in. Getting his hand in there to bat it away is Brian Edwards. It's incomplete. 3rd down and 10 up next.
Well, you notice if Morningside lines up in an empty set, meaning there's no running back there, Keiser's bringing the house. I mean, they're bringing more than Morningside can block. But that time they motioned Tuifua back in to help pass block, and that gives you your 6-man protection. And you notice Keiser backed off at that point.
Clock stops following the incompletion. 6:46 left in the game. 29-28 Keiser on the People's Bank scoreboard. 3 receivers left, 1 right. It's Joe Dolanchek in the gun. Back off his right hip is Williams.
Got single coverage down here.
Takes the snap, drops to throw, lobs it up left seam. Zach Norton came back to the football. He brought it into the 26. What a big catch by Norton up the left seam. He got 19 yards and a 1st down for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Joe's really struggling throwing the ball right now. I mean, every throw downfield is considerably short.
Thankfully, Zach Norton bailed him out and coming back to the football on the seam. 19 yards, 1st and 10 of the 26. Now you're in field goal range as well. 2 receivers left, tight end right, receiver right, and Schweikert. Dolanchek drops to throw, looking left, rolling right. He's trying to direct traffic, lobs it up into the air into triple coverage, picked off of the 5-yard line. Brian Edwards hauls in the interception. At least we think, and it is. Brian Edwards with an interception, his 2nd of the season, and Keiser will take over inside their own 5.
Yeah, the poor kid just can't grip the ball right now, and he's really upset with himself. And look at Coach Ryan right now.
Yep.
You calm down. We're going to get the ball back, and we're going to get a chance.
Yeah, Coach Ryan is having a heart-to-heart here with Joe Dolanchek, who's absolutely frustrated with himself, with the rest of his offense. I'm not sure, but this is where the head coaching of Coach Ryan, the 20-plus years he's been at Morningside, is coming to play. He is giving a heart-to-heart with Joe Dolanchek with 6:05 left in the game. Keiser's at their own 4. 29-28 Seahawks. The Mustang defense needs to earn its paycheck once again. 3 receivers right, none left. Out of the pistol is Shea Spencer. He's a yard deep in his own end zone. Spencer the snap. Gives right side. Meisinger trying to get off tackle. He's brought down for a loss. Back at the 2. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 12 for the Seahawks. A huge play. I think it was Lonell Boyd Jr. who got in there to disrupt things. They gave him the 3-yard line. Oh, man. No, they did spot him at the 2. Okay, that line, or that down marker is just off there. 2nd and 12 from about the 2. 5:37 left in the game. 2 timeouts for both sides. Keiser up 29-28 with the football. Bryce Feasley back in there at quarterback for the Seahawks. Receiver on either side. Motions his back out of the backfield. Takes the bell high snap. Keeps up the middle. He gets brought down. No, he's still on his feet across the 2 to the 3. He got a yard. Just a yard. 3rd and 11 up next.
Right now, you got to think about 4th down. If they don't pick up a couple yards, the punter's going to be sitting at 12 or 13 yards.
Oh, boy, this is going to be so big. And Coach Ryan gives another pat on Joe Dolenchek's shoulder pads, realizing they're going to get another chance here. 4:57 left in the game. Keiser 29, Morningside 28. It is 3rd and 11 from the Seahawk 3. Oh, listen to those Mustang fans get loud. 3rd and 11. Feasley, 2 receivers, 1 on either side. He takes the snap, gives up the middle. Meisinger gets brought down for a loss at the 2. It'll be 4th and 12, and the Seahawks will have to punt it from 9 yards deep in their own end zone.
No, he's gonna be at his heels will be on the end line right now, and now you got the danger of a bad snap where.
Right. Well, yeah.
I mean, a bad snap where he has to, maybe leave his feet to get the ball or move to get the ball and then step out of bounds.
Boy, a block, punt, bad snap, everything can go wrong on this play. 4th and 12 from the 2. It's Chance Gagnon, 9 yards deep in his own end zone. Schweigert's at the Keiser 37. It's a good snap. He got it off. What a kick. Schweigert has to back up, fields it over the shoulder of the 45. Takes to the right numbers to the 43. Brought down in Keiser territory. Didn't get a whole lot on the return. That's a stellar kick by Gagnon. And with 3:51 left to go in regulation, Morningside will have the football. 1st and 10 of the Seahawk 44. Down by 1 point.
Well, we've said this a lot, but his ability to catch that punt. If he doesn't catch that punt, that ball's rolling a long way. And we're looking at maybe a 70, 80-yard punt.
Absolutely, easily. But now Morningside 1st and 10 of the Keiser 44-yard line. 3 receivers left. Tight end right. At 2 tight ends right. Dolenchek with an empty backfield on 1st and 10. Dolenchek, chest high snap. Short drop. Passes toward the left seam. It got deflected at the line of scrimmage. It was the defensive end, Jertavis Black, who got his hand up and batted it down. It'll be 2nd and 10.
That time Morningside lined Seaford up the J back in a wing to the right side, so technically they're not in empty set, and they have their 6-man protection, and Keiser recognizes that, and they don't bring the house.
Keiser 29, Morningside 28, 3:46 in regulation on our People's Bank scoreboard. Dolenchek in the gun. Keiser wanted some movement, and there's a movement on the line. Flag is thrown. This will be a false start on the Mustangs.
Yeah, I think the center flinched.
Oh, no. That'll be a snap infraction. Or a false start is what the call is. 5 yards back to the 49. That's going to bring up 2nd and 15 for Morningside. So Morningside now is behind the chains with 3:46 left to go in regulation. Top-ranked Morningside trails 12th-ranked Keiser, 29-28 on the People's Bank scoreboard. 3 receivers left, 2 tight ends right, empty backfield for Joe, who drops back on 2nd and 15. Steps up in the pocket, he's running up the right seam, and he spins down forward for 3 yards to the 46. He got some positive yardage. It'll be 3rd and 12. 3:34 and counting left in the ballgame. Each coach has 2 timeouts remaining. Keep that in mind.
Well, just let's if you don't get the first down, let's make 4th down manageable here, because you're definitely going for it. You're in 4-down territory.
Yeah, you don't think you have any more time to get the football back if you give it to them. It'd be very tight. 3rd and 12 from the Keiser 46. 2 receivers left, 1 right, 1 man in the backfield in Bryson Freeberg. Joe Dolenchek at the gun. They're running a lot of time off this clock. Play clock down to 5. Dolenchek motions Johnson right to left. Play clock to 2. Down to 1. He takes the snap. 3-step drop. Dolenchek pass over the left seam. Norton makes the catch at the 35. He's got a first down across the 34 to the 32. He got 14 yards for a Mustang first down.
Well, they brought Norton in motion across, and the corner went with him, and that tells you it's man coverage. And Norton was able to run a little curl route and did a good job of coming back for the football.
2:42 left in regulation. Keiser 29, Morningside 28. Mustangs get a fresh set of downs at the Keiser 32-yard line. Now the other part is get well within field goal range. Chase Carter's made one from 45, so you're not quite in field goal range yet. He's not made one from longer in his Mustang career. 1st and 10 from the Seahawk 32. Dalenchek drops to throw. Stands in the pocket, lobs it up, right seam. Oh, there's some contact. Josh Simmons there at the 5-yard line. The ball falls short, incomplete. Kensley Johnson on the coverage. They're going to say no flag, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that's a good no call.
I agree with that. Yep.
Again, I think Simmons is going to come open, and Dalenchek just can't get him the ball. He's having such an uncharacteristically hard time throwing the ball deep. And normally that's his strength.
It's his bread and butter.
Yeah.
That's why he's the player of the year, why he's one of the best quarterbacks statistically college football's seen. 2nd and 10 from the 32. Dalenchek 3-step drop. Oh, he lost the football on his pump fake. Keiser's on it at the 41-yard line. They call it a fumble. At least for now, they haven't made a signal. And it is what is it? It's a fumble recovered by the Seahawks at the 41. Keiser takes over. Joe Dalenchek tried to pump fake, and the grip of the football, he lost it on the way forward.
How about the tuck rule?
Tuck rule, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
That's
textbook tuck rule.
Yeah.
2:09 left in the game. Keiser 29, Morningside 28 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Now remember, Morningside is only 2 timeouts, so after this first play, if it's only 2nd down, they'll have to let the clock run, and then they'll have to call 2 timeouts. 2:09 left in the game, 29-28, Keiser on the People's Bank scoreboard. Seahawks need a 1st down to move on to the semifinal round. It is Shea Spencer, the starting quarterback for the Seahawks, with a receiver on either side. Motions his receiver right side closer as a tight end. Takes the snap, gives up the middle. It is Meisinger getting back to the line of scrimmage. No gain, 2nd and 10.
If the quarterback keeps the ball, man, he's going to run all the way to Mobile.
Yes, he will.
There was nobody left out there.
Yep, he'll just head over to the Subway and get something to eat afterwards.
That's exactly right.
Man, 2nd and 10 upcoming. So the clock has to run here. Coach Ryan has only 2 timeouts left. Wants to save them for 3rd and 4th down. From the 41-yard line, it's 2nd and 10. Here's Spencer in the gun. A receiver on either side. Meisinger in the backfield off his left hip.
I'm surprised they lined up as quick as they did.
They have, 6 seconds on the play clock. Down to 3, and he snaps it with 2. Hands off up the middle. Meisinger picks up a yard. Not even a yard to the 41-yard line. No gain. Timeout, Coach Ryan. Minute 22 to play.
The quarterback's got to keep the ball here. Mm-hmm. It's still a safe play.
Yes. Even if he doesn't get a 1st down.
Yes.
It's a longer run. It takes more time. Yeah. 3rd and 10 for the Seahawks. With a minute 22 left in the game. Seahawks up by 1. We'll take a short 30-second break. We're back after this on Fox Sports Radio 620, KMNS, Sioux City. We welcome you back here to Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City alongside Bob Goodvin, Daniel Versteg. Minute and 22 seconds remain in regulation. Keiser leads your Mustangs 29-28 on the People's Bank scoreboard. Seahawks have 3rd and 10 from their own 41. Bryce Veasley back in at quarterback for the Seahawks, and the timeout is called by Keiser.
That's a really good timeout. Mm-hmm. Let's be sure what we're doing here. We got an idea now what Morningside's going to do to us in that formation. So maybe you come out in 10 personnel and spread them out.
Right. So there is only one timeout remaining on either side of the field. Coach Ryan is going to use it, assuming they get a stop here on 3rd down, and set up a 4th down punt, see if they can get the football back and put together a miracle drive with a little over a minute to go. 29-28, Keiser on top of Morningside on the People's Bank scoreboard. And yeah, if you're Keiser, using a timeout here doesn't kill you.
No,
doesn't stop the clock. It's actually probably a good thing.
It's a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
Because you get organized and you make sure you're all on the same page with the play. And no, the timeout does literally nothing.
Right. Taking a look at some other contests around the NAIA Football Championship Series. Grandview has beaten Lindsey Wilson. A field goal with 3 minutes left sends the Vikings to the semifinals. Northwestern's beaten Marion 52-27. All 3 home teams have won, except in this contest so far. 3rd and 10. Beasley in the gun. Takes the snap. Gives around the left side. Meisinger up the left seam. Breaks the tackle. 45. Midfield has a first down to the 45. He picked up 14 yards. Keiser's got a first down. And that will be all she wrote here from Elwood Olson Stadium.
Yep, you can just take a knee now.
Yeah, with only one timeout for the Mustangs, they can't do a whole lot more. Minute 15 to play. Clock is running. 29-28. Keiser leads your Mustangs. And the Seahawks have 1st and 10 at the Mustang 45-yard line. Just a simple 14-yard carry for Jaden Meisinger. And now the Seahawks are milking all the time out of this clock. They line up in the victory formation. Spencer under center, whistles, timeout called by Keiser. Using one timeout, and they're going to hype themselves up on the sideline. Coach Ryan and the Mustangs will see what they can do here. 46 seconds left in the game, 29-28 Keiser. And this is going to be a stinging loss for the Mustangs here in the quarterfinal round of the NAIA Football Championship Series. Made the semifinals consistently for so many years. And they will fall short here today. In this scenario, Bob, there's probably not a whole lot more you can do right now.
Well, there's literally nothing you can do right now. You just hope they fumble the snap, which has happened.
Right. Yeah, stranger things have happened in the sport of football.
The difference in the game is Dalenchek's inability to throw the ball vertically like he normally can. I mean, they might have 2 or 3 more touchdowns if he was healthy. I mean, the last interception down there, I think, could have been a touchdown had he thrown the ball deep.
Right. Absolutely. Well, here we go. It is 1st down and 10. The victory formation has lined up here for Keiser. They kneel it out. Morningside will not use a timeout. And they will have to snap it one more time here at Elwood Olson Stadium, and the Seahawks are going to move on to the NAIA Football Championship Series semifinal round. They were the only road team to win last week. They will be the only road team to win this week. And Keiser will be moving on to play next week. On 2nd and 10, snap, knee, and your ball game here from Elwood Olson Stadium. 12th ranked Keiser has knocked off the Giants. Your top-ranked Mustangs fall today by a final of 29-28, and the 2022 Mustang season comes to an end short of the ultimate goal of repeating as national champions. Again, your final score, 12th-ranked Keiser, 29, top-ranked Morningside, 28. When we come back, we'll break down the action for you, our Long Lines post-game report, and we'll get you all that you need to know. We'll talk with Coach Steve Ryan as well. For the first time since 2016, Morningside will not make the semifinal round. Final score, 29-28. Keiser beats Morningside here at Elwood Olson Stadium. We'll take a break. We'll come back. And your Long Lines post-game report comes your way after this on Fox Sports Radio 620, KMNS, Sioux City.
Presented by NAIA Game Committee Man Josh Anderson. They are offense. From Keiser, Jason Eisenman. And on defense, also from Keiser, Cameron Allen. Mustangs, we are so proud of you. Congratulations on an incredible season. Keiser, congratulations on your win today. Good luck in the remaining games. Thanks for attending this quarterfinal matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, do take great care as you leave Olsen Stadium. And remember that every day is a great day to be a Mustang.
Seniors are gone, and that's
How we do? Give me another minute on this. Give me another minute. Just come back to me. I'll take another break. We welcome you back here to Albert Olson Stadium for our Long Lines post-game report. Morningside falls in the NAIA Football Championship Series quarterfinal round. First time since 2016, the Mustangs will not see the semifinal round in the Football Championship Series. Daniel Versteeg with you down on the field. Keiser beats Morningside by a final of 29-28. We'll be chatting with Coach Steve Ryan, who's in the midst of a very emotional post-game speech with his players following this defeat. The Mustangs will finish their 2022 football season with an 11-1 record. Keiser's going to move on to the semifinal round with a 9-3 record. They will join Northwestern, Grandview, and Indiana Wesleyan, the 4 teams to move on to the NAIA Football Championship Series semifinal round. Those matchups and pairings will be announced coming up later on today. We'll take another break. We'll come back, and Coach Ryan will join us when we come back here on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, Sioux City. All right, come back after this one, JC. Come back. And we welcome you back to Albert Olson Stadium, our Long Lines post-game report, joined by the head coach, Morningside football coach Steve Ryan. Coach, there's a lot of disappointed faces and a lot of disappointed people in that huddle. What's the message to the guys after a loss like this?
I just told them I loved them. I mean, I appreciate their time here, appreciate all the things they've accomplished since they've been here. They fought hard, they played hard today. We don't face much disappointment here, and sometimes you just don't know how to deal with it. And you just hope that they deal with it well and know that, that they come back, they play here, they play to win, they play to do all those things. But they made great friends. I had a chance to get to know some phenomenal young men, and to keep those relationships and those experiences together going forward.
You mentioned how proud you were of them and of the adversity they faced and all the injuries, everything throughout the season. How much was that embodied in the way you guys played and the way you guys fought down the stretch of this contest?
Yeah, I mean, we went through a lot of adversity. Every team does. At this point, and we needed to make a couple plays at the end of the game. The 2 turnovers really just killed us. For having a shot at a field goal at the end of the game.
Coach, you mentioned the seniors that come back and all the guys. What do you hope, after all is said and done, that their lasting impression, their lasting legacy is on this football program?
Well, I hope that for them, the football program made them better men. They look back and they say, the man I am today, was shaped or helped to be formed by my time here. But their legacy here is phenomenal. I mean, think about these guys. They won 3 national championships. They've never lost a regular season game. And, they have, you like to think you can go through life without ever having a loss in a game, but sometimes they come.
And finally, the guys that are coming back, what do you hope a loss like this does for them to fuel them to, light that fire again come next fall?
Well, I haven't had a chance to think about that, but just thinking about this time with these guys.
Well, Coach, we always appreciate your time all season. Thanks for your time today.
Hey, thanks.
Steve Ryan, head football coach, Morningside University, on our Long Lines post-game report. Take a break and come back and wrap this one up here from Albert Olson Stadium after this on Fox Sports Radio 620, KMNS, Sioux City. All right, give me about 3 minutes here. 3 minutes.